聞こえますか？始まったかな？本配信が始まらんな。
はい。
はい。
1番。
はい。一番、自由参加なんで。1戦目は、どこでしたっけ？ MIS とシークレットレア。シークレットレアわかんないな。
これ時差出ちゃう。あ、そっか、ファイトも本配信見ればいいの。でもそれも時差出るか。
MIS はめっちゃ強いけど、シークレットレア。
言っちゃう。
おはようございます。
はい、おはようございます。
はい、さん2番。
イェーイ。
これどっから見る？
あ、
日
URL 貼
本じゃ
ろうか。
ダメなのか。
てか、あれか。どうすればいいんだ。
そう
一応 URL は、こうなんだけど、
うん。
これを、あれか、共有して俺が。それで見てもらえばラグないかな。
じゃあそれで。
これでいいのかな。
じゃあそれでこ
はい、みもるさん、
こう
これさん、いさん、おるさん、もぎらさん、初見です。いらっしゃい。
うして。
はい、こんばんは。めるさん、こんばんは。しののめさんもこんばんは。おい、始まんねえぞ。
あれねぞ。
これ実は始まってる？更新してみよう、一回。始まってないわ。
うん。何時予定これ。
17、向こうの
日本で言う。
17時。
あれか
日本で18時開始のはず。
はいはいはいはい。
はい、T2 ルイン、ルイン点 T2 ルインさん、初見です。いらっしゃい。ゆいさんこんばんは。枝豆さんこんばんは。リーグスノーさんこんばんは。
ちゃんとサムネ作ってるのよら。同時視聴サムネ。
使い回し。動画のサムネの使い回し。文字変えただけ。OBS ストリームじゃなっけ？あのサイトを、あれ表示させるやつどこだっけ？
ディスコードのオーバーレイ。
そうだ。ディスコードオーバーレイだ。一応、シークレットモードでブックマークも隠してるから、ブックマーク見れなくて、なんてサイトか忘れちゃった。
はいはいはい。
一応ね、発言の飛躍はそんなにないらしいんでね。
何言っても大丈夫と。
大丈夫らしいです。
やった。ゆるく見ましょ
バレー、これサイズよ。
もう多分大丈夫。すいません。あれでも入んないな。一戦やったら始まるんだ、これ。入れてやさんこんばんは。やいさんこんばんは。タルさんこんばんは。今日は、そうですね。日本勢は昨日やっ
う。5リーグ見
て、
るんだっけ今から。
やったんで、今日は、東南アジア
日本
になります。
インド。
日本か。
インドじゃねえや。
インドじゃないよ。東南アジアだよ、今日は。
東南アジア。
明日がいいのか。
明日がインド。
どこのチームがどことか全然わかんねえや。
それこそ、めっちゃスクリームしたエスケープ5とか、ルネサンスとかは今日だよ。だから2試合目がルネサンスとエスケープ5だから、ちょうど、すごい。
すごい馴染みのある名前がじゃあ多いわけだ。
インドネシアの方始まってますね。
なんか全チーム誰がいるとかのまとめて
更新してみよう。始まんないけど。
遅刻
ここだよな。
アジアリーグ。
もう少々お待ちください。
はい。
あ、じゃあこうか。こうだ。ルネサンスはそうだね。カミルのサナがね、中心の
カミルだ、カミ
ハイ
ルだ。
パーパワーチーム。
サナだったり、サナだったり、アブだったり。
かなり、サナとか、マコとかもやってたっけ、カミル。どうだっけ。
わかんねえ。わかんねえ。でもこれあれじゃない？なんか試合始まる前にもしかしてこういうの言ったらダメとか悪くない？スクリームの情報は何使って昔の話だっていいか？
まあ、昔の話やね。
昔。
わかんない。まあ、ホクシーは何とも言えないかもしれん。ホクシーに関してはでも使ってたっけっていうあんま覚えてない。
なんかサナ使ってる人は魔法使ってるイメージはある。
そうなんよね。
立ち位置とか結構似てるし。
まあ、何が使われるのか注目ですね。勉強もしなきゃ。来週勝たなきゃいけないから。勉強。ajunさんの声、エコーになってる。あ、待って、ごめん。俺の設定が終わってた。変なの入ってたわ。
俺の声だけエコーにできる設定とかあるの？
いや、多分、ホバチさんもエコーになってたと思う。
なるほど。
エコー今。やったー。
ツイッチの方を見てみるか。ツイッチだったよな、確か。なんか、こう、ミラーしてくださいみたいな来なかったんだよな。あ、ツイッチないか。む。
むむいね。
むむいな、これは。始まってないよね、アジュンさんとかも。これ開いても。
同じページのやつは始まってない。
だよね。
うん。
時差。調べてみよう。14時半と17時って書いてあるけど。なんだこれ。あ、時間わかんねえ。
まあ、いつか始まるっしょ。
GMT 日本時間。GMT ってどこ？あ、標準時間か。ツイッチの方で配信を開始してるっぽい。ツイッチの方で開始されてると。ツイッチ。
なんか海外勢のインディベアとかクリス・フントラーとか配信してるわ。ミラー配信みんなしてる。
なんですけど、まあ当たり前。
ポケモンユナイト。あー、これか？
Unsure on how it works, here's how it works,
本
right?
当は始まってる。
Both teams are going to be given a chance to ban out a
昨日見た
Pokemon
画
that
面
they
だ。
don't want to see at all in the match. No teams will be able to pick it once it's banned. Now, after that,
一旦こっちでいっ
teams
か。
are going to be given a, it's going to swap between both teams when it comes to
柳川さん
picks,
こんばんは
right?
で
So
す。
the first team to pick will pick one, then the next team will pick another
音
one,
量
and then, yeah,
音
as
量
you
が
can
ね
see on the screen, right? Left,
わ
right,
か
left,
んねえ
right.
んだわ。
Exactly.
Yeah, so eventually both teams are going to pick up all their
動
Pokemon,
画とか
and then we have
を
the
ミ
preparation
ラー
phase.
して
If
配
you
信
don't
し
know
たり
what
した
this
こと
means,
ない
it's
から
essentially
音量
the
が
players are going to swap with each other and
わからん。
actually choose which
ちょっとでかかった
Pokemon
り
that
ちっ
they
ちゃかっ
played
たり
from
した
the
ら
draft. So what you
お
see
願いします
originally when you get
お
picked,
願いします。
let's say you got player A, they've picked Absol. During the preparation phase, player B can swap with player A to play that Absol, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing about draft mode is that you won't be seeing any duplicate.
大丈夫そう。
No duplicates, yeah.
いい感じ
Exactly,
ら
no
しい。
duplicate Pokemons on
Nice.
the opposite side. So once you have gotten yourself a priority pick, you'll also have to wonder what else would you have to go for. And the preparation phase is where they'll get to reorganize and re-strategize who gets to play which Pokemon.
Well, I think the preparation phase is an extra layer of complexity to the game, right? Because even though you've seen a team's draft, you don't know who's playing who
一戦目は
until the preparation phase. So you can start seeing some crazy things where maybe someone's
シークレ
decided
ッ
to
トレ
pick
アマ
up a
ジ気になる
Cinderace.
の。
Team A thinks it's going to go central
SR.
area, but all of a sudden it goes into
Ah,
lane, and then they have
SR.
a funky pick
Ah,
going into
SR
central
か。
area.
あ
Crazy stuff that can happen, Contra.
SR か。
And that's
F-
what makes
AFR
it so
のあれね。
exciting as we
元
move
AFR
into
メンバ
this whole new season of the league. Now,
あ、
let's take
出
a
るん
look
だ。
at the bracket as it's currently on a clean slate. So
そう言われた
eventually
ら
with the
急に
teams
しっくりきたわ。
moving up ahead with those wins will push themselves up
Escape
towards the standings,
Escape
and nobody
Breed.
wants to be at the
頑張ってほしい
bottom
ね、
of
Escape
the ladder
Breed.
because even though they will be able to survive on the league stage, when they move into the gauntlet run, that's where it does
原田
get
さん英語できる
dangerous.
できませ
Yeah,
ん。
now of course we are going to be moving
しまい
on
です
here to the
何言ってる
playoff
かわかんないで
brackets.
す。
Now how this works, so anyone that is a little bit confused, is that the seedings are based on
ね、
how
これは
many points that team earned
何
during
海
the
外行った
first
時
phase.
に
So of course, first seed is the team with the most
話
points, second seed is the team with the second most points.
海
Now
外
of
行っ
course
た
you're going
時
to
も
be
だ
wanting
し
to aim for
今の
top
配
two
信の
because
こ
that
の
means you
人らが
can
喋っ
skip
てるのか
playing
な
on day
け
6.
ど
Day 6 is reserved for
なんか
teams that are getting
ね、
third,
この前
fourth,
ロン
and
ドン行っ
fifth
た時
seed.
はマジで
This
なん
is
とかなっ
single
た。英語わかん
elimination
なく
as
ても
well.
全然。
So any teams that
雰囲気でいけるんだ。
lose in this phase are knocked out of the tournament and are
雰囲
immediately
気と、それっ
ineligible
ぽい
to
翻
qualify
訳
for the finals. So this
のア
is
プリ
where
使った
things
り
get、really heated because this is your last chance
全
to
然なん
qualify
ともなかった。
for that final.
Yeah, and this is
翻
where
訳ア
we
プリでも
believe
そんな
that
なん
we'll
か
see
流暢
probably
に翻訳でき
shake
る
up in the
流暢
terms of
っていうか
meta
そ
that
の
they've
いや
been
素早く
playing around. So with all
なん
those
か
things considered,
なん
we
だろう、
definitely
まあ、向
want
こ
to
う
see
に
the
伝
best
えた
team
い
to garner the
時
most
限
points
定かも
possible
でも。
during the league stage.
うん
And
はいはい
of
はいはい
course, just to remind the audience once again,
なるほどね。
3 points for the ones to win 2-0 series.
向こうから
And
のあれ
any
は
form of win will at least get 1 point even if they did
うん
lose out
せ
on the
その
series.
要はなんだ
No
ろう。
wins, no
そ
points
の
at
生
all.
活部
Yeah,
分
so
は結構なん
ultimately
とか
you
なっ
want
たけ
to at
ど、
least
その
bring this
海外
the
の選
games
手の
to a
人
full
と
3 series to
話
get
したりす
that
るとき
point.
は、
Because especially when it comes to
まあ
the
めっ
seeding,
ちゃ
seeding,
簡
you
潔
want
な
to try
も
and get as many as
うめっちゃ
possible
簡
as
単
you
に向こう
can.
が話し
You
て
want
く
to
れた
dodge
りも
fourth and
して
fifth
た
spot
り、
because you're going to be
はい
playing
優
for
しい
通
those
訳の
games.
人
And
も
of
一
course,
応
if
い
you
たか
get
ら、
first seed, you're automatically qualified to the final.
まあそ
The
の
only
人呼ん
difference is
で、
that you need to
そうそう
play
そう、その人
the
呼んで
winner of that
通訳して
Day
もらったりして
7
た。
match because I think that's to determine the seeding for the final as well.
Yeah.
So seedings and your placements, super important, Contra.
And that number 1 spot is so sought after by every single team because
達郎おばちゃんこん
automatically
ばんは。
you get yourself that ticket
でもし
to
さんこんばん
the
は。
final.
試合自
So
体
with
は
that being said, let's get ready for
ここ
our
から
first
5
matchup
分
for
10分後
Southeast
かな多
Asia.
分。
We'll have Team MYS versus Secret Rare, and on MYS we will have Yang, Nightmew, Foxy,
シュワい
Froggy,
るシュワ。
Yemu, as well as Rebox.
And then on Secret Rare, we
見
have
覚えある名前多い
Shua,
な。
Eva, Dan,
ヤング
Heart
とかもなんか
One,
見たことあ
and
るし。
Drab Scent. I'm hoping I said his name
ヒロキ
correctly.
ヤオがい
If
る。
I didn't and you're watching the
ヒロキヤオがい
broadcast,
るもいる。
please send me a tweet. I will correct my
Is
pronunciation.
it Junior absent? Is it Drapson?
Oh,
Well,
it could be junior absent actually. That makes more sense.
we'll figure it out. We'll slowly get there.
We will. But I do want to remind
Eva,
our viewers
Dan.
as well,
Ah,
if you are looking at Team
YouTube も始まっ
MYS
た
and you're thinking, hang on a
YouTube の方
minute,
がいいな、多分
I've。seen some
YouTube に変えます。
はい。
Heart One and Drab Scent. I'm hoping I said his name
これ
correctly.
今
If
か
I
ら
didn't
最
and
初
you're
の
watching the broadcast, please send me a tweet. I will correct my pronunciation.
Junior absent? Is it Dropson?
Well,
Well,
I could be junior absent actually. That makes more sense.
we'll figure it out.
We
We'll look
will.
at it.
But I do want to remind everyone as well, if you are looking at Team NYS and you're thinking, hang on a minute, I've seen some of these names before. Now, if you didn't know, Yang and Reebok actually used to play for Renaissance in the they used to play for Renaissance last year and participated in the World Championships. So now they've gone ahead, they decided to make Team NYS, and they managed to pull together 3 players and make essentially their own team. And I did manage to watch quite a few of NYS games during the Malaysia Open, and this team just crushed competition. They were that far ahead, they were that good, it was scary. So I'm really curious to see how they play up against some of the other regions. Now, speaking of the teams, let's talk a little bit about Young here, Contra.
Yeah,
happy
and
birthday
overall, we
Saimon
will
Star
definitely want to take a look at what he
Young.
loves to do other than playing Pokemon
ハビゴ
Unite.
ンと
And the
マホ
answer
クシーが
is
得意と
just straightforward investing, man. Guy knows how to make money.
インベスティン
work
グは
for
何ですか
Yeah, so we've got his favorite
Investing.
Pokemon as well. He loves to play
Investing です。
Snorlax. He also loved to play
わあ、インベ
Delphox.
スティング。
And I feel like the investing thing, it's so funny because Yang is the top laner on the side of NYS here, right? So
株式
you love
市場
investing.
ファイ
That
ナン
means
ス
you
金
must
融
love
面
investing in
これも調べたら
experience.
それ出てきた
Gaining the experience, having high level Pokemon, and then
投
being
資と
able
か
to run down the
どういうこと
competition with whatever Pokemon you decide to
性
play.
格
Yeah, and
なるほど、なるほど。
his best choice out here is
なるほど、なるほど。
Snorlax as well as Delphox because
理解。
he wants to earn some while he's sleeping. So I think that's the best way to do it, right? Investing. Definitely the smartest move, Yang.
gosh.
So we'll definitely want to see what else does he pull into the game though, because these might be his favorite Pokemon, but every single situation that we get ourselves into in the competition, it varies what a certain team needs.
Yep, and now I do believe we're going to be taking a look at Miva on the side of Secret Rare. He's also, this player I do believe is also a top laner for the squad, and
Miva.
I love his trainer card. It's just you. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be seeing this Pokemon
My
at all
hobby
because
is
it was perma
watching
banned
anime.
essentially in East Asia.
わかりやすい
Maybe
よ
Southeast Asia could be
アニメ
different.
見るのが
But
趣
his
味と
favorite Pokemon are Serena and Machamp, and his hobby is watching anime
毎日アニメを見ることができると。特技だね、これは。趣味と特技だね。
Very, very different.
あ
But
趣
of
味、
course,
趣
we
味、
love both of
趣
them
味出資ってことか、さっきの
overall.
人
Well,。I believe
投
that
資
Amiibo is very, very relatable to
かな
all the other
多
trainers
分
out
趣
there.
味だ
So
と
I'm
思う。
pretty sure like
投資
he could list us
か
a
け
really
投資が趣味らしい。
good amount of series that we could
俺
basically
も投
binge
資かけるよ
tonight.
うになりて
Pretty much. I mean, if you play Pokemon, I think most people that play Pokemon will watch anime to some degree. I mean, could we make the assumption?
怪力入れてこんかな気になるな
ねえ、怪力見たい。
Because it's got the Mew sticker.
Could be that.
Kairiki
Actually, I
めちゃめちゃ
can
強い
still
からな。
remember the very first Pokemon movie.
ちょっと取りた
Even
いから
then, it's
集
been
団
like
性も
what,
マジで
more
熱か
than
るから
10
な
years by now.
Okay, so I got a bit of a
Watch
refresher.
Watch
I'm
anime.
not sure if you remember. Do you guys remember the 3D remake for the first
3D
Pokemon?
remake?
You didn't see it?
I don't think I've
You
seen
need to
Online
take a
ya
look
na,
at it.
kore.
It was a little bit strange because I was used to watching the 2D, you know,
2D
the original one.
あ、違うか。
But here's
普通に
the thing.
なんでもない
I actually
なんか
hate
画質
myself
の悪さ
for
ちょっと
not
感じる
going
けど
to
ね
the
だから
cinema to watch it because
そうだ
I
ね。
think
ウ
some
ェブ
people
カメ
are
感
gonna
が
remember.
なんかあるよね。
If you watched
ちょっとあ
the
る。
first Pokemon movie in the cinema, you got a exclusive Mew card, and it was
Wow.
like
左の
so
人
the
パジャ
image
マ着
for
てるみ
it
た
was
い。
the
Only I
tablet.
knew I would join you.
I didn't
パジャマだ
know.
な
I was
確
a
かにね
child. I didn't realize that this was going to be valuable. But the image for it,
パジャマ
I
だ
think it's
な。
like a holographic tablet image of Mew, where it's
Oh,
you know, like the
the
Aztec
ancient
version.
Mew?
Yeah, and
Oh,
that
my
image.
word.
And apparently, I think it's worth quite a bit of money now.
Probably a few $100s, I want to say.
I mean, I feel pretty bad. I really wish I watched it in the cinema, but I was a child. I didn't know. I mean, I'm glad that we get to still enjoy Pokemon now as adults.
Exactly, and that's also a whole lot of Pokemon Unite for all of you guys to enjoy. And also, we might have actually mentioned a whole lot about Team MYS earlier on, but Secret Rare, hailing from the Philippine Opens, have definitely shown up here by securing a second seed finish.
まあ
So,
MYS
with them now facing against a WCS team
って確かあ
somewhat.
れだよね。
So,
A
ウィン
hybrid.
ター
a hybrid WCS
準
team.
優勝
What do
か
you
なん
think
かのとこよね。
would be the best way
MYS
possible for them to
あの
basically
俺らが負けた
overcome
方
this
じゃない方の MYS。
Okay, so this one's a bit of a tough one, right? Because I think this is going to be the first time that we see these two teams clash in a tournament.
覚えてね
From
えや
what I did hear from the Philippines Open, Secret Rare is a team that's comprised of really
So
young,
namonka.
very hungry players. So
Namonyo.
it's hard for me to gauge how good they are compared to MYS. But I do believe, especially with the younger players, just having that hunger to win, to be able to prove yourself, that can make a team really scary because that makes them play very dangerously. Sometimes you have to make those really crazy plays to pull
今
out
更
the
だけど
plays.
運営
Yeah,
に
I
つ
would
いても
absolutely
問題
agree,
ない
and there's so
コ
many
メン
of
トい
all
ただき
these
ました
young, fresh talents out there proving themselves worthy, and you know they have
問題なく
amazing
このままできる
reflexes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
I can't wait to
やった。
see what Secret Rare could possibly offer, and since this is the
なんか
league
URL
stage, I
送って
believe any team
く
could
る
have
のかなと思った
basically
ら
win it all if
全然来な
given
く
the
て
chance to
It
do so.
really is open.
普通に
Like
自分で
anybody
人
can
の
win
配
it.
信
It just
どこでやん
comes
だって思
down
ってたん
to
だよな。
firstly if you can qualify for the grand finals, and then secondly, do you have the versatility to play in the grand finals? It could also come down to skill, but from a lot of games, sometimes it really comes down to the Pokemon that you pick. Can you pick something that's just completely out meta? Can you be the ones to create the meta, right? Because I think in a lot of other games, sometimes when you go into a tournament setting for the first time, if you are the trendsetter, you have an advantage over the competition because they are busy trying to learn how to play like you. Whereas you just play like you. Your comfort picks and your comfort play
英語が
style
分かれば
is
こ
going
の
to
時
give
間
you a
も
big advantage already.
Exactly, and that's
楽しめた
definitely
のに
requiring some of all these trainers out there to spend extra time
なんもわからん。
to do the necessary preparations
なんもわ
and
からん。
also come up with something new entirely if they want to edge out the rest of these competitors that's in the scene. So with that, I believe that we're getting ourselves ready for our first battle of the evening for Southeast Asia. I know you guys are excited. Make sure you guys stick to the Twitch chat because you can all win some amazing prizes from Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, speaking of, if you haven't already and you may have missed it earlier on in the stream, we are having a sort of special giveaway for people that do tune into the broadcast. All you have to do is make sure you're watching the stream on Twitch, and then secondly, sign up for the giveaway as well, and you're going to earn points whenever you tune into the broadcast. Once you've earned enough points for one of the rewards, you can go claim it. But I do want to remind
取ろうと
everybody,
聞いてみるけど、何
first
もわからん。
come,
わかる
first serve,
俺
and
も
I
ちょっと
do
今
know
じっ
that
く
a
り
lot of
聞
trainers
いて
are
みよう
currently
と思った
tuning
け
into
ど
the broadcast, so
無理だっ
make
た
sure to
知
get
らん
those
とか
points
それぐらいしかわ
early
からん。
because you might miss out. Someone might be faster than you.
And of
スイッチしか
course,
聞き取れなかっ
with
た
that, the
言うてた。
Uber
スイッ
always
チ言うてた。
catches the worm.
スイッ
So
チしか聞き取れない
with a lot of
スイ
all
ッ
these
チと
things
スペシャルと
considered
アメー
as
ジング
well, I mean, those are for the viewers, but for the players, you know,
バカだ
sometimes
俺たち
going on this online stage for the first
日本語
time,
で言うて
it
く
does
れ。
get on the nerves if
Yeah.
it will be their very first tournament. They did go through the qualifiers though, so at
YouTube の
least
字幕とか
everybody
で勝
comes
手
in
に
with
自動翻訳ない
a
かな
little bit of experience
字幕
with
を利用
what
でき
they've
ません
got. But
Speaking of experience, actually, I think
そんな便利なことない
from
で
the
しょ
teams that I did see and some of the competitions that did play,
難しい。
I'd
それ
say
でき
the
たら
most
すごいよ
experience is
ね
probably easily Renaissance and MYS because
実際
firstly, three of
実
Renaissance
際
have played on
で
the
もなんか
world
あれじ
stage,
ゃない
they've
た
been
だ
at
多
LANs,
分
they've
公式
participated in a
配
lot
信
of
だからつけ
competitions.
れないとか。
Second's probably
あ
MYS
そう
because
なん
they've
だ
got two players that played at Worlds with Renaissance and then they
リ
have
アル
picked
タ
up
イ
three.
ムでも
And I think after that
そういうあれがある
is
んだ
Team Rise.
その
Now, if anyone doesn't
な
know,
い
Team
あ
Rise
る
was
ん
the
じゃない
winner
な
of
い
the
かな
Indonesian
いやわ
Open.
かんない
And the Indonesian Open finals actually
YouTube さん
played
それぐらいや
live
れ
at
そうだ
one
け
of
ど
their malls. So they do have a little bit of that LAN experience.
やれるの
Not
かもしれん
100% sure about the
かもしれん
remaining
ね。
teams
やれたらいいですね。
for Escape 5
はい。
and Secret Rare. I think the Philippines Open was
なる
online.
ほど
I
エ
don't
ス
think
ケー
it
プ
was online.
5
yeah, it should be
エスケープ
online
V か
the
エスケー
last
プ
let's
5か
check
いまいちどっちか分かってなかったんだよな
a few of my
どうしたの
friends from
Escape
Indonesia, I
5で
know
した
that Darius
あ
Drew
5
is
な
a
ん
big
だ
fan
ちゃんと
of
5だっ
Pokemon
た
cards and everything else. Like, he should be watching these matches closely and also casting it in
I
Indonesian.
hope so. I mean, you got to cheer on for your countrymen, you know? You got to make sure that you send them the energy, you got to send them that love so that they can play at their best.
Yeah, overall, I mean, like, we have so many different teams that are basically champions of their own region in specific, but coming all together as in the whole region of Southeast Asia. I think that's the whole beauty of this whole tournament where everyone's coming together to play unitedly.
Yeah. Now, I do believe we're going to jump into this next
言うて
matchup
そろ
very
そろ
soon. But
そろ
let's
そろ
talk about
始ま
what
るんじゃない
happened
か
in East Asia and possibly some
いう
Pokemon
ド
that
ラフ
might
トが
bleed off into Southeast Asia, right? We did have a number of Pokemon that were very popular in yesterday's games. Contra, do you want to mention the
なんか注目ポイント
MVP,
があり
the
ますか
big man himself?
It has to be the
注目ポイントですか？
Snorlax. I mean, I think it has made about 90% of most of these appearances, or if not, if you double check, it might even be 100% because it was not even banned in any particular rounds.
Well, I don't think teams are going to ban Snorlax because there are a lot of
ヤミラミウーラをす
influential
るあたり
Pokemon,
じゃ
but
ない
I
ですか、やっぱ
do
り
think that
無難に
at
なる
some
ほど
point teams
バ
are
ン
going
す
to
る
have
か
to
どうかみ
figure
たいな
out
ところとか
what the solution's going to be for the
取
Snorlax,
るの
right? We saw
か、バ
yesterday.
ンするのか。
Let's be real, guys. If you play Unite, Snorlax is big, he's tanky, his kit is super
まあ
annoying, whether you pick Heavy
昨日
Slam,
ね
if you get blocked off the,
我々
the
もね、
gold,
ヤミ
the
ラミ
gold
に
pads. I mean, he's
ま
a
あ
really
渡
tough
して、
Pokemon to
ハピ
play.
ナスでカウ
So
ン
it
ター
would
する
be
みたい
pretty
な
interesting to see if either
こ
teams
と
are
を
going to
ね、
pick
しよう
this
としたん
Pokemon
です
at
け
all,
ど、まあ
or
普
if there's
通
going to be
に
some kind of solution. Because
プレイ面がね、
regions
その
tend
ピ
to
ック
have
ではカ
different
ウンターを
metas.
取れてる
So we are going to
は
jump
ずだ
into
か
this
ら、
game here,
その
Contra.
ヤミラミ
It's
取ら
Team
して
MYS and
ハ
Secret
ピナス
Rare.
取って集団戦するっていうのは
Let's see who gets
すごい
Yeah, and we start off here
めっ
with
ちゃいい対策だと思うんだよ
MYS
な。
with a Sableye taken out.
けど
Meanwhile, Urshifu has always been
まあ
on
そ
a
れを
high
この強
priority
い
for either side of the teams.
Absolutely.
チー
Therefore,
ム
we won't be
たちが
seeing
やっぱ
any of it in
そ
our
れをやっ
very
て
first
ど
game
う
in
返
the
せるのか
series.
っていうの
So
を見たいけ
David
ど、
goes ahead
まあヤ
with
ミ
the
ラミ
very
とウー
first
ラオスは
pick,
バンさ
and
れ
it
た
will
と
be。the Dodrio,
両方
interestingly.
バンされてます
We've
ね
seen a lot of
ドードリオな
Dodrios,
んだ。
and we have yet to
そして
see
ドド
a Dodrio that has been able to
Wow.
really tear through the
まあまあ
competition.
まあ、
But
サポート
we've
関係
seen
まあ
many a times when Mr.
Mew
Mime
通り
appears,
た
it will be
く
paired
っ
with
て
Snorlax.
I was gonna say Mew hasn't been banned, Scyther
ド
hasn't
ド
been
ストだ。
banned. Now, of course, we are looking at Sizzle here,
ドドスト
but
ライクの
generally
並びだ。
speaking, in Southeast Asia,
まだ
Scyther has been the choice from these
ド
two
ドストだと
Pokemon.
メ
So
ージ
we've
が
got
す
some
ご
pretty
く出
big
しづら
contenders
い
on
ミ
the
ュウ
side
も
of
いる
MYS
し
so far. On the side of Secret Rare,
何
though,
出
they've
す
got
の
the Snorlax. We know that a lot of teams
あ
struggle to
ー、まあ
deal
いい
with
ね。
Pokemon
固め
and
の
Mr.
ね
Mime. Now, fun fact with
た
MYS,
だ
Froggy
3サポ
is
片ス
insane
ポでダメ
on
されるかな
Mr.
これ
Mime.
あと1枠
まあ、
なんだろう
9
I don't know how to describe it. It's like he's dancing the salsa when he plays the Mr. Mime. And you just can't knock him out. He's
まあ
so
ハッピー入れ
tanky,
ときゃ
so
一応
good
明
at
治系は生
juking.
き
So
残
I
れ
think
るけど
Secret
その分
Rare,
あの
it could be a
苦い
comfort
し
pick and maybe it could also be a deny pick.
まあ
I don't
そうだ
blame
け
them
ど
if it's a
いい
deny
し
pick, but again,
いい
strong
し
Pokemon. I'm glad Secret Rare managed
確かに
to
アマジ
Yeah, it's
ョ
also
のワン
interesting
マ
that
ン
we're
キャ
seeing a
リー
very first slow brawl of the
重力
entire
差しに来た
ACL
エビボン
in
も攻めてる
general.
し
So
コウ
with
が
that being even paired with the
す
まあ
ごいな
ある程度一人で動
お
ける
もろいな
This
後から
actually
入る
gives
系
them
で
a little bit more of a layer of defense on the front line, but ample
4人
of
で動いて
damage
シュアーで
to
後から
offer
対
from
しても
MYS. But take a look at Miva. He's got
Amazing,
that
that's
comfort
what
pick
we're
going with the Serena, and
本当だ、連
if
打ス
you
カーフ
look
だ。
back
No.
at East Asia,
どうですか
you
これは
see
yeah.
what the Queen can do.
Nice.
So
このな
I'm absolutely stoked to see
で
what
も
this whole match can offer. So let's
バリ
head
アード
over
か。
to this Taya
なんか
Skywinds.
Oh, I'm so excited for our first game of the day, Contra. We're seeing a lot of
強そうに見える。
burst ability on the side of Team MYS. We've got the Dodrio, who's going to be
だからや
able
っ
to
ぱ
run around and score
火力
points.
足りるかどうか
You've
よね
got,
ゲ
I'm
コがい
assuming
か
it's
に
Cypher
そ
to
う
deal
ね
the burst damage.
バイルが
You've
悪
got
気す
Mew
る
that's going to be able to sit in the back lines, either throwing out those electro balls or solar beams.
じゃない
And then you
こ
have
の
to
ユ
deal
ナイ
with the super annoying
ト
slow
次
break.
第じゃ
I
ない
think
もう。
this Pokemon
も
is
は
very
や。
underrated when it comes to
うん
pubs
か
because
な
it's not a
だ
Pokemon
が
that deals damage, but it's amazing for disrupting your opponents, whether it be from surf
あ
stance
ま
or
あ
if
で
you're
も
going to
ヤ
go
ド
for
ラ
the
ンいる
skull
から
slow.
ちょ
But
っ
of
と動
course,
きづら
most
さはあると
importantly,
思
his Unite move. If you get caught by that, you're not
ロー
going.
ドリオストライクにどっちかゲコに睨まれた時点でもう苦しいだろうからな
Greninja or even the Serena that's going to be jumping into a team fight, they really have to look out for that slow bro. So here we go, having a little bit more of a tussle over on the bottom
敵のヤドラン
side.
ユナイト
Everything
に
will
対
be
して
on a
カウン
neutral
ター
state
で
on the starting
ハピ
point.
ナス打っちゃったら
So
もう結構
what we
死に
look
しちゃ
at
うんだよ
on
な
the side of Secret Rare is that
ああ、
they
一人で
need a
動かな
little
きゃい
bit
け
more
な
time
い
to
から
skill up as well
ゲ
before
コ
they can
ゲコ
actually
使うか
offer
な
those big number of damages and
使
ア
えた
マールが
らそれが一
使うん
番悪い
で、
have
ヤドのユナイト使わせて、アマー、じゃあハッピーユナイトでカウンターして、多分それに集まってるところ
Now,
に、ゲ
Secret
コのユナイト
Rare,
で、
their lineup so far is quite reliant on two of their Pokemon to
破
deal
壊するみたい
with.
な。
Right, we've got the Serena to be sitting in the front lines that can also sustain herself. And then you've got the
そう
Greninja
ね、
who's
ピ
there
クシー
for
と
the
かもいる
range.
し、
Yes. Now, one thing I'm a little bit
波乗
worried
り
about
をいい
here
感
with
じ
the
に
Greninja
重力
pick
とか
is
され
that
ちゃ
you're
った
going
り、
up against Scyther, who is amazing at
確か強化攻撃
shooting
っ
you, and then
て
you
重
also
力は
need
なん
to
か
deal
出ない
with
よ
the
ね、結構
Dodrio.
が。
If you're
不
low,
動技になっちゃうから。
you are going to get knocked
出
down,
ないんだ。
right? Dodrio is probably one of the
なんか、
best chasers,
ガルドとかは持てる
especially
ように
when
なっ
you're
たじゃん。
trying to clean
あ、
up
本当に
after a
あ、じゃあ出
team
るかも。
fight. So far, it's looking pretty good here for Team NYS.
うん
They've
ガ
got
ル
the
ドの
healing
殴りは
from
どっ
the
かの調
Fable,
整で。
and then
あ、
they're
ガルド
really
出るんだ。
aggressive.
あ、
They're
じゃあ出
rotating
るわ。
into the enemy
じゃあ
central
始まるのか
area.
ってよ。
Oh, they're looking for a pick as well. Schwa getting chipped off while Miviva has to run all the way back manually to the base. So
This
And
aggressive
actually,
play.
yeah, this aggression that we're seeing from MYS definitely denied a whole lot of EXP going for Secret Rare.
Absolutely. So Secret Rare, they're
Ma-
going to
ma
have a bit of a
happy
tough early
omoi
game, but I
shi
think once you've got the Serena fully evolved as well as the Greninja, things might get a little bit easier. But the fear is Yemu, right? If the Scyther gets a couple levels ahead of you, then that's when you're going to have a lot of problems because he's going to start two-shotting, maybe even three-shotting some of the tankier Pokemon. And there's not really much you can do as a Snorlax. He's quite immobile. Yes, he's an amazing initiator, but Scyther can dance around you.
Yeah, that's the thing that they really have to basically navigate through. But Dan is going pretty low. Couldn't really make it into the goal zone in time to get a little bit more shielding, and therefore MYS downs in 70 points.
Yeah, this top lane is very difficult for Secret Rare to deal with. But luckily, bottom lane, it's looking a little bit better. But they do have to be careful, especially with that Dodrio, because if they overextend, we know what that Pokemon can do, especially when it comes to getting those little quick knockouts. But look at the rotations. There's a lot of Pokemon moving all over the place. And big Solar Beam from the Mew. Gotta be careful with those.
Battle for Altaria has always been a little bit dicey over on the bottom, but what they really are seeking after is all the buffs that they can basically get heading into Pokemon. We got a Regirock spawned up, and well, Team MYS is not wasting any time at all, and they're just hoping to see if they get engaged.
It's 3 versus 5, and MYS, they were able to get the Reggie for themselves, and now I think Secret Rare, they're going to lose Pokemon for this. So they lose the Snorlax, Mr. Mime, Blissey. I mean, if they stick around, they are incredibly brave. They're going to try and prevent them from breaking down this goal zone, but there's only so much you can do as 2 versus 5. Up top, they one shot's not too bad.
It's alright, I would say. I mean, they do have at least strong going with some really deep dives, and with pretty much the Reggie Leggy pushing in, they can still put a little bit more, but unfortunately, it didn't manage to step all the way to the zone, so they'll be taken out very quickly by MYS. So far, everything looks very calculated coming from a team that has participated in the WCS previously. Or should I say the team members, of course, with this brand new roster. It's looking pretty convincing, but we still have 6 more minutes to go.
Yeah. Big group up here for MYS, so this team is really looking to get into a team fight if possible, and I think they are scouting to try and see what's the easier knockout. I do believe they saw the Blissey, but they haven't been able to really catch anyone else out. So MYS, they're just trying to maintain control of the map, right? Prevent Secret Rare from getting those quick easy wild Pokemon knockouts, and also denying that experience.
And you can already see that Secret Rare understands that they don't really have as high of a damage to offer, especially with the Scyther hitting level 10. So anytime he dives in the back line, someone's gonna get obliterated in a sense. So you don't want to feigning Pokemons before the fight even starts. So you can see that Secret Rare, they're definitely preparing for that late game slowly but surely, and they definitely need to rely on Miva to make massive moves.
Ooh, Rebongs. I think he's just going to get backstabbed here, yeah. So, they're able to deny the score, and that's 6 points. It's just 6 points. But unfortunately, he was holding on to too many.
Yeah, this is a little bit more of a miscalculation of timings as well. But MYS, they're looking for another Registeel, while Hard is already on the pursuit. And perhaps Secret Rare could stop this.
They've come in with the Blissey as well to buff up that Serena, but is this going to be enough damage? A lot of shielding's happening. Dodrio going to be scouting around the outside. So far, no Pokemon have gone down, but now our first Pokemon's down. The Scyther is down. Slowbro is down. That's a lot of the control on MYS down, but are they now going to be able to turn things around? It's them on the run. Secret Rare, amazing play. They just ran right at Team MYS. They've got so much sustain, so much healing, and unfortunately for MYS, it's only the Clefable that can really give them any sort of health back. So great stuff from Secret Rare. They've played very conservatively up until this point. They didn't give away too many pickoffs. So this EXP equilibrium is in their favor.
Exactly, and it's all boiling down to the final stretch as well. Whatever points that they could actually add in now, that would be great. But Secret Rare, that really great setup, and the layering of the defenses that made it pretty beautiful. And they're diving in, multi-dunks at the same time, and there goes on down.
Well, they really prioritized that goal pad there. So
押した側の特権だ。
押した側の特権だね。まあ、北側は上のレジエリキ欲しいから呼んなきゃいけないけど。
to go for the defense, and I guess now teams are just gonna have to start preparing for the Rayquaza now. That like we're really getting ready to go into that late game, and I was kind of hoping, especially for Team NYS's composition, this is a very aggressive composition. You were really looking to try and break some of those goal posts early, and they weren't able to quite do it just because Secret Rare they played.
まあ2キャリーだから13、13はさすがに余裕でいけて、14、13ぐらいまでいけるんじゃない？両方も降りてるし。
That pixel perfect team fight, and if they could basically emulate what they've been successful in that bottom skirmish, and they will try to replicate that on that upcoming Rayquaza fight and within 45 seconds from now. So you can see both teams, they are just calm, collected, they don't want to make any form of mistakes before the Rayquaza first appears, and that's where you know this is just down to the final team fight.
13、13 だ。
I like the
14、
fact
13
that
無理
both
だ。
teams they're really utilizing all the bushes because they don't want to give too much
まあでも
information away, right? If
MYS
you show
側
yourself
も
in that bottom
ストライ
lane,
ク
then for
13でドド
example,
12だ
the
し。
other team is going to know that okay, this Pokemon's down the
まあ
bottom.
結構
Do we
まあ
want to
13
fight
あれ
them?
ば。
Do we want to avoid them? Maybe we can try and do a backstab, but here we go. Rayquaza fight 12 seconds before that 2-minute mark ticks over. Who is going to start this battle?
Well, we'll definitely have to take a look at Dan. When is he going to go ahead to make a move? And there you go, heavy slam.
Going right onto the Clefable, they're going to try and push Yang back, but that's not going to be enough, and they've used a lot of their Unite moves. Mr. Mime going into the front. Dan, he's going to be the one to start the fight. Big team stun here. NYS is getting stunned left, right, center, and Secret Rare, they've used all of their moves, they've used all their shielding. They need to find out before everything runs out, and they've taken down 2 Pokemon. Dodrio is down, Clefable is down. They're now looking to go grab this slow brawl as well. Now the only Pokemon left, it's that Mew and Scyther. Now we know that Scyther, if you leave this Pokemon, he's going to be able to get those backstab knockouts, and so far he's trying to grab it on the Mr. Mime, but this Pokemon is so difficult to go up against. You're not able to get that elimination. Now Mew, oh, he's stuck around, he wanted to try and get the last hit there onto the Rayquaza, but who is going to get it? It looks like it's going to be Secret Rare. They get the final hit. Team MYS. One of 2 things need to happen here. You've got to break all these shields and prevent them from being able to get those goals, or you're going to have to try and backstab. Now with the Dodrio, this is very possible, but look at the advantage so far. 230 to 370 points.
They all have enough AOS to stack it all up, and Secret Rare have been patient enough to push it to the final run, and we are seeing 600 over points, and nothing that MYS can do to stop them at this point.
Oh my goodness, this is a big turnaround here. Secret Rare playing so patient, understanding the pick-off comp on the side of MYS, and they were able to stick to their guns. When it came to the Rayquaza fight, they had more shielding, they had more health, they had more healing. This is the advantage when you're running Mr. Mime, and listen, you've got so much sustain. This is so difficult to take down Pokemon, especially when you're trying to go for a fighting lineup. And look at this, the beauty of the Snorlax just blocking people off the goals. Now, can they get anything done though? Now they're going to try and fight for this. 12 seconds to go. The Snorlax being picked up, thrown around left, right, and center, but Secret Rare defending their base, and it looks like this is going to be it. They should be able to take the game. I don't believe MYS can get enough points to secure this game. Secret Rare debut match of the tournament, looking fantastic.
Looking mighty fine, Danalee, and we are seeing them having a little bit of struggle in that early game, but they stick to that game plan with this sustained calm that they've had, and we were looking at, okay, we see Mr. Mime and also Snorlax, and then they pair it up with a Blissey. That makes them pretty much unstoppable in a way. So with that amount of sustain, they've been able to at least prolong those fights. So it doesn't really matter how much damage Team MYS can basically do in those team fights.
Yeah, sometimes it really isn't about damage anymore. It's about how long can you survive in these fights before you get knocked out. And if you can keep your teammates alive, I mean, let's be realistic, right? In a 3 versus 5 situation, who do you think is going to win? The team with 5, of course, because you've got 5 extra Pokemon to work with. So with the numbers disadvantage, and unfortunately, just without this healing and also without the disable, it's quite difficult for MYS to really get those quick knockoffs.
And not only that, like, when you take a look at the effectiveness of some of these picks, we were expecting Yambo as well as rebounds to basically pop off in many of all these instances, but I believe that they were also having a little bit of a miscoordination,
勝ってよう
especially
が負けてよう
with
が
them being a little bit
刺さる
too
と思った
careful
タイミン
during
グで
that Rayquaza battle, and then after that, everybody got clumped up and just got hit by Dan in the
Yeah,
middle of the fight.
Just the beauty of Snorlax. I mean, this is such a common occurrence now. It's
まあドドスト
not rare
の
to see a Snorlax come in and get a 3-man
難し
disable,
いとこではあ
a
るよな
4-man
この
disable, which
なん
is
か
what
最後
we
の集
saw,
団
right?
戦
He went right in and also doubled up with his Unite.
でもドドスト
Four-person
ドド
stun
スト取っ
on
て
the
さ
side of
宿
NYS,
取
and with how
ってミュウ
fragile
取
those
って
Pokemon are as well, you just take
Pixie.
too much damage, and there's no way that you're going to be able to outlast Secret Rare.
Yeah, and you know, there's a whole lot of hype
ピクシーいらな
around
そうだけどな
Mew,
冷
and
静
of
に
course
思った
it
けど
is a great Pokemon, but I felt
そん
like
な守る
in this
ピ
instance,
クシー
maybe
使って守りたいキャ
it,
ラ
this
そ
whole
んないなくない
composition
ミュウって
this Mew
まあ
to
ヤドラ
actually
ンを
have
押し上げ
those
る
great
ために
instances
使
in
って
those team
た
fights. We didn't really see huge impacts, but there
まあ
was
プクリン
decent
とかの方が
fights,
強そうだっ
especially
た
in
けど
that
な
early game. But you can
今
see
今
based
更だ
on
け
this
ど
graph alone that it
まあ
slowly shifts
そうね
from
睨
that
み合い
6 to
で
the
敵があんまりダメージを
points.
出す
Yeah,
強
it
いとも
really
ない時
came
もあ
down
る
to
し
this final
まあ
stretch,
でも
right?
固
Like
まらないから
literally,
な
I think it was 12 seconds up until that 2-minute
見て
mark.
序盤のファンも
Rayquaza was going to come in. That was
相手はミュウ
the
だからさ
game-winning fight for Secret Rare. I can understand. I can still understand NYS wanting to pick up the Mew. It's a very strong Pokemon. You're able to sort of swap between utility Mew and, of course, damage-dealing Mew. You can get those really high-powered solar beams from downtown. You've got the Electro Ball to go for the little pickoffs, and then you have Surf Mew, which is just a big pain in the backside, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to score points,
スノー
and
ボー
then
ルし
Mew's
れる
like,
構成じゃないと思う
not
からゴ
swapping
ブゴ
your
ブで
way.
集団戦になった
But
時
Secret
に
Rare, they didn't care. I mean, I
難し
think
くないの
their
かな
lineup was
こ
just
ういう
great.
堂々に
Yeah,
ストライク
exactly. And now we're going to be moving into the
結局
highlights
そうね
just to
ドド
have
ス
a look at
ト
how
構成は
some of all these plays happen. Like MIS, they start
集
out
団
really
戦5対5
well,
は
especially
多分
on
できな
the
いから
first Regirock where they found a couple
まあ
of
敵が柔
pickoffs.
らかめの
And
キャラクタ
that
ーとかだった
probably
ら
is
多分
This
これ
was
でいい
it.
んだろうけど、
まあそうね
しっかり
Knocked it out
パ
and
ン
he
と
came
か
back for
ア
revenge.
マージとか
Yeah,
後
this
から入っ
was
ていける
just
ことがね、多分
such a
ドド
good
ストライ
play
クなの
coming in from
狙える
Dan. He
こと
was
が
the one
全然
that
なか
set
った
up
か
for
ら
the team, and I think things could have been a little different for MYS if they were able to somehow
シ
get
ークレット
behind
レア側の
Secret
ピッ
Rare
クがめ
because
ちゃめちゃう
Dan
まいよね。
was
そうね
the
うまかったねこのピッ
gatekeeper.
ク
He was the one that was denying MYS from being able to freely dive in to Secret Rare's squishier
まあ
Pokemon.
全力でミュ
Exactly.
ウの
Just
ストラ
like
イク
how
使
when
った
you
として
play
も
all
ハピナス
these,
が結
you
局
know,
回復しちゃうからね。
Pokemon on the Nintendos and
削
stuff,
って
like
から入れたらいい
a
っちゃいいんだけど
Snorlax literally blocks your path,
Well,
and
you
there's
know,
nothing much you can do about it.
下校から狙えたらマジで
そう
うん
でも絶対狙えないからカビバリアマージョ行って下戸から狙うってほぼ無理だと思うんだよなこの
まあきついと思う。
よっぽど裏
And he wakes up, and then you
裏
have to
取
battle
れ
him. I mean, that happens anyway.
で
right,
も
but- Teamy, take note.
まあでも正面にいる人は3人でよかった気がす
But
るんだよな。
congratulations to
Yeah,
Secret
Dot,
Rare.
Dot,
This
Dot,
team
Dot.
really, really
まあそうね
showing off their stuff
まあそうね
of
他はもうちょ
competition.
い準備とかばらけ
MYS
ながら
now
で
need
敵
to
入っ
bring
てき
this
たら
back
対し
to
て
a
とかで
1-1 if they want to be able to possibly take the series for themselves. So, is it going to be a 2-0? Is it going to be 2-1?
ストライクは
You
ね
don't
確か
know.
右下 L 字
Would you
で
believe that heading
待って
into
たん
this
だけ
matchup,
ど
we'll see basically an overhaul of the
その
Pokemon rosters that we
下
see
戸が
here from
奥
Team
の
MIS?
堂々
Because
狙いに行ったから多分ストライクが下戸狙えなくて
well against a
結
sustained
果
comp. And if
全部終わ
if
っ
they
た
do
後
not
に
really change it, is there a certain bad
行
that
くし
you're
かない
looking
け
for
ど
in
人
order
数
to
差っ
stop Secret
て
Rare
き
on
つかっ
this
たみたいな
beautiful play that they've been making in this match?
Well, I mean, one of the changes would maybe they just have to take the Snorlax for themselves. I think that's the easiest. I don't suspect a ban because there's just too many other Pokemon that you do want to ban. The alternative is
Gekko
possibly
確かに
anticipating this
いい
very
ピックだ
sustain
なこ
heavy
れ
lineup because they did show it early.
これ
I
が
mean, they
サナ
did
と
pick
か
up, I think,
マ
the
ホとかだった
Mr.
ら
Mime
そうね
and
サナとか
it
マ
was
ホ
the
だったら
Mime
全然
third pick on the side of Secret Rare, so it wasn't.
そのストライク側も全然入れるからバックライン
Who was
Mr.
third?
Mime as
Yeah.
well as Snorlax was picked together,
そ
and
っから
then
置かないから
Snorlax, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
ただ
Blissey
下戸だ
was the
と
last, I believe. So they
最
did
初バック
reveal
ラインに
that
いる
until
け
much
ど
later.
気づいた
So
ら
if
こ
you're
う
MYS,
敵側
I
の
think you
奥
do
に
need to anticipate
行く
the
キャラではあるから
sustain
さその
lineup
相手
and
の
maybe having to
アサシンとかバッ
to
クラインを
draft accordingly so that
倒しに
you
行く
don't
キャラ
pick
ではあ
a
るから
comp that just melts or can't outlast. Alternatively, maybe you go for a scoring comp instead. So instead of trying to go for team fight, you try and go for these very fast Pokemon. I mean, that's what Dodrio does, right?
ドラップとかだったとしても多分ふわーってやつだから
The lineup on the side of Secret Rare isn't
かといってドドストで月光だけ見てると正面火力ってミュウしかいないから足らんのよな火力が。ほんでよっぽどなんかマジ即月光が落として推しが魔女狙うみたいなことできないと。
Yeah, and this is where they really have to take into consideration because when you look at the previous few battles, they have been pretty standard. We have not seen the Urshifu as well as Sableye in the first game. Therefore, does MYS want to open one of these picks for their own or basically give one away because they managed to secure that Mew? So we'll stick to the usual and we'll just roll it back once again. Perhaps Gemu once again with the very first pick. Is Snorlax going to be the main pick? They will take Mr. Mime first, so that is a smart move.
Well, that's Froggy's Mr. Mime. If anyone knows MYS, if you've seen Froggy's Mr. Mime, there's a reason why this is going to get first pick. So MYS going to be happy with this. Now, Secret Rare, they did lose that Mr. Mime themselves, but they're going to go for Eldegoss and Snorlax. So again, Snorlax on the side of Secret Rare. What's Team MYS going to go for here? It's going to be the Mew again for Knight Foxy, and it looks like they're going to cycle back yet again to use Scyther.
Yeah, this looks pretty much doable, but this time around, Secret Rare is showing another possible pick as they did hover on top of the Venusaur, but instead they managed to see that, okay, they have passed on the Dodrio, let's get one for ourselves, and they will stick to the usual Serena.
Interesting choice to pick up the Dodrio themselves, so this is going to give them the ability to quickly break those goals. MYS, what is their last two picks? Are they really going to go for Tyranitar?
Oh, we haven't seen this in a while though.
Tyranitar is an amazing brawler if you can pair him up with great supports. Now, Mr. Mime alone with Tyranitar is scary, but Mr. Mime with Blissey is a whole new monster. You are basically looking at Godzilla on the side of Team MYS. And this Pokemon is great for fighting against teams that are trying to go for shields. So Serena might struggle with this. Unfortunately for Snorlax, he's not going to have a fun time. And interesting, Azumarill on the side of Secret Rare. So Azumarill, similar to Serena, is a Pokemon that can heal back. You can heal yourself with the Aqua Tail, assuming we're seeing the Aqua Tail build. But my issue here with the Azumarill here is it going to be able to outlast a god like Tyranazilla or a god Ran? I don't know.
We'll stick to Tyranitar if that's the case.
I mean, this is more like Godzilla, man. This is not Tyranitar. This is like God Anatar? I'm not sure. I will stop.
I want to see it for myself how MYS basically pulled this point back, because when it comes down to ideation, Secret Rare, they're doing exactly the same thing now. Switching up the Greninja with the Dodrio gives them a little bit more burst of speed in order to score some of these points. And for MYS, I believe that this could possibly work wonders because they understood we are lacking that shredding power in those team fights, and now we bring in the Titan.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the Tyranitar possibly shakes things up, because I guess one of the other things I'd be a bit worried about here for Secret Rare, right, is that Tyranitar is generally weak against lineups that have a lot of ranged Pokemon, right, because he tends to struggle against Kite. Now, most of the Pokemon in Secret Rare that deal damage are melee, right? Azumarill wants to be close, Serena needs to get on top of Pokemon, Dodrio, if he goes for Tri-Attack, sure, he's got a little bit of range, but this is not going to be an easy game when you're playing up against the Tyranitar. We'll see how it works. Maybe they can try and bully the Tyranitar early, make sure that he doesn't hit T-Tar until 4 minutes into the game. That's ideal, right? Delay him, keep him low leveled, so that he's not really a threat.
But then again, he's basically moving around in mid-section, so he's relatively safe for now, as they manage to spot out Schwan, manage to move out just in the nick of time.
10点ね、ちょっと怖い、マジで。入らんときね、一生入らんから、これ乗りに行ったの偉い。
2人投げられたら5点ちょっと怖いの。
今ね、白髪が乗ってなかったら多分ちょっと怖かったな。
Yeah, so Rebong's having to stay back. He did get bullied by the Dodrio a little bit as he did head into that top lane. So I think Dodrio is a fantastic Pokemon in the early game, especially if you're trying to poke some of the squishies. Now, fighting up against Mew, this is a scary Pokemon to go up against. Unless you're able to get the two-shot in with your abilities, you kind of don't want to fight into Mew at all because it could be a 50-50 split, right? So again, we're seeing Team MYS being able to reclaim that jungle, making sure that this Pupitar is going to get this experience. But we do see the Eldegoss rotating into that central area, and Dodrio is coming back. So you've got to be a bit careful here for MYS. Make sure you give that experience to Pupitar, turn him into the Tyranitar, and then just start rampaging down these lanes. Now, the things are, it's not bad for Secret Rare. Even though MYS is getting this experience, they are able to start working on these goalposts up in that top lane. Secret Rare scoring points. And their core Pokemon are fully evolved. So if there's a time to go, especially when you want to battle, it's now.
Yeah, Secret Rare does understand their power spike overall, and this is where you see up in the early game, they've already managed to squeeze in 66 points. And this is just continuing to stack overall. And just doing so much throughout these past few rounds, and we just love to see it. So far, Team MYS, they're just waiting for that opportunity to strike and also needing for that Tyranitar to come up online.
Yeah, so 7 minutes into the game, and so far we're not seeing too many Pokemon being knocked out at all. Both teams are showing a lot of respect to each other, making sure that they're getting their experience. So it's again, very similar to game one, but it looks like we're going to be seeing that first rotation here again by Team MYS. They want to make sure they get their Reggie in the bottom lane. Now, top lane, they're not going to be bringing the Serena. It looks like they're going to try and solo for the Reggie Alecki. If Secret Rare can somehow win this bottom battle, this is going to give them a huge advantage going into that mid game.
That's right.
最悪殺せはしない、倒せはしないね、アマージョ。
Yeah,
Amajo.
His own, but how much can they do? Can they steal it away? And MY still got it in return, and now the chase is on. They're looking for hard, and can they do it though? The Azumarill has been knocked out, and Dan tries to stop them from getting the scores into play. But for now, MY has just got a whole back before they get those points done.
Yeah, and Rebongs is about to turn into the Tyranitar as well. He is so close to that level 9. Now we'll see if Miva is able to apply enough pressure. Maybe he can somehow get this Reggie Alecki onto that goal. It will be amazing. First Pokemon knocked out, but Mew is here. You do not want to mess with Mew. So he's going to leave. It will unfortunately not get onto the goal pad, but that's okay. The damage has been done here by Secret Rare.
Yeah, Miva has just looking sublime on that Serena. Now moving into the bomb end, gotta be careful with those steps still as she's currently being chased. Meanwhile, Team MYS will still need a little bit more power-ups to even get to where they need to be. Things aren't looking all too clear for MYS for the moment, especially with Secret Rare. Off to a really good shot, but they're already seeing an angle here for a fight.
Yep, so they're going to be coming in with the Tyranitar. He's going to try and do as much as he can. Rebongs. Look at this poor Dan. He almost got completely melted, but he was able to get his health back. But now, first Pokemon down, it's Dan as well. This is the key to Secret Rare's lineup. And now 2 Pokemon are down. They've lost the Serena. They also lost the Azumarill. This is what you need to worry about as Secret Rare. If Dan goes down, you've lost your defensive measure, you've lost your big protector, and they might lose another one as well. Oh my goodness, Absent is trying his best to try and deny these Pokemon from scoring these points, but look at this Dan pushing Pokemon onto the goal pad. They want to try and give the team shielding because of course if you stay on your own pad, you do get those shields, and luckily for Secret Rare, they're able to turn it around, pick up some big XP after those knockouts.
Yeah, that's a little bit more of an overextension coming from Team MYS, but you can already see how much of a sustain that they have in those team fights, and now it's a steal coming in from MYS out of nowhere.
The power of Mew.
The Solar Beam.
Yep.
Oh my word.
Just Mew things, you know?
Yeah, Mew things. You talked about the Surf, we haven't mentioned about the Solar Beam. I mean, she's just so versatile, like, it's like a box of chocolates, not knowing what exactly she pulls up next.
I know, right? So now we're going to have the Reggie Alecki battle in that top lane now. 4 minutes left to the match. We've got 2 minutes left for that Rayquaza. Now, Secret Rare, they're going to group up yet again. Froggy going to be staying in that bottom lane for MYS. He will eventually come in Secret Rare already beginning this fight. Tyranitar running into the front lines. Look at how much health the Eldegoss has lost. You've got to be so careful of Rebongs. He's in the middle of everything. He's being healed up by Yang there with the soft boiled, and they just can't do anything to this Tyranitar.
There's just no damage being done to Rebounds, and they absolutely have to run aside. Now that Gozone's going to be down 298 points. Now Edge is out, Secret Rare, and they will secure the Reggie likely. A minute more, we'll definitely get ourselves that Rayquaza, but for the time being, Secret Rare has gotten themselves overwhelmed in many of all these team fights. And you just saw how that combo coming in, Miva.
意外とない時はな、どうしてもバンギラスアイテムのバンギハピーバリになる。
Taken out by Rebongs. I mean, it was a nice reset, but sometimes you're just not going to be able to get away.
Yeah, too many members out of Team MYS. And
勝てないファイトになった時に
now, I
すぐ
absolutely
さま別に
understand,
どこ
right?
で
Like
育
when you mentioned
つ
Blissey, Mew, Mr. Mime,
動きはやっ
all
ぱ
funneling everything
強い
onto
よ
this
な。強いと
Tyranitar.
こはなんかみんなやってる。
Why not? Why not?
もう抜けがメインで勝てそうだったらやるぐらいだよ。
running down the lane, like there's just absolutely no way of stopping
Well,
this
やることがある。
at the moment.
So this is like a train, but that's armored up. You know, it's ready to
まあ
fight.
他は
It's
時間
just
かか
so
るからそれ
tanky.
で
He's got
Oh,
he's got the
Miu
shielding. He's got the heals. He's
ミュウが
got a Mr.
13
Mime
いけ
that
たら
can also tether up to him as well. So I
13
just
こうな
don't
っ
see
てファイトに
Secret
なる
Rare
なら
being able to eliminate the Tyranitar unless
MYS
you're
の
able
構
to
成
catch
が
out Yang and Froggy as well,
非常に
right?
強そうだが
He is. Those two players are the lifeline of that Tyranitar. If you can cut them off, maybe there's a chance that you can get rid of this big, bad Pokemon. But we'll have to find out now as Rayquaza has come in. Oh boy, this is
まあ
such a
一
tough
旦
fight
ミュ
here
ウの
for
降
Secret
伏
Rare.
しつつ
Yeah, and I really want to see if
早く
they
一人
have
で
enough
ま
damage
あ
to
点数下がってるから
operate
相手のイン待てばよくて
now.
Coming for
Just
the backstab.
absolutely
Oh!
running
偉い
in through the
ね
back
このボタ
door.
ン
Miva will have to get back into safety. Dan initiates, but they won't be able to actually get all too much. They actually get zoned off. There's no entry point, and that's where they
Oh,
look for that
意外と使
catch,
わず
and the fight will go on.
And there we go. They almost managed to catch the Mew with the Dodrio, but he
ここから
was able to escape.
ハピナイト
Dodrio goes down
じゃあ
at the
ハピあれか
beginning
バン
of
ダ
that
ーか
fight. Mew is still there.
あ
Dan
まあ
wants
残
to take him
っ
out.
て
He
るけど
won't even get the Mew. Lives on a sliver of
いや
health,
無理
and
だよ
that's
ね
it. It's a wipe. Secret Rare are going to easily pick up this Rayquaza, and it's just going to be the defending game on the side of Secret Rare. What a
ミュウさんいなきゃじゃね
comeback
他
for
ミュウ
MYS.
だ
They
けだ
put
から
all their eggs in the
ミュ
Tyranitar
ウをさ
basket.
狙ってもまあ
He
ユ
is
ナイトで
delivering.
一回いなさ
Yeah,
れちゃう
and
から
that team fight was so clean and crisp coming in from MYS. Every member
Oh
of Secret
my
Rare
goodness.
looking to stop Night
強い
New
とこよ
Foxy,
な
but you still gotta consider everybody else out there. Now MYS is gonna go on a parade of points. 668-2 at the moment, and Secret Rare could only get a Blissey in return.
All right, MYS, are they going to stick around? Sometimes with these battles, I do get
Oh
a
my.
little bit scared, but they do have 30 seconds left on the clock. It will be very difficult for
ミュウ
Secret
が
Rare
勝つ
to
んだ
be
ろう
able
な
to get the
素
points
直
in,
に
even
ダ
if
メー
they
ジ出
win
し
this
に
battle.
絶対むず
Poor
いもんな
Miva by himself,
こそ
unable to
ミュウと
eliminate
かを
these
もし
four
右側が取れてるん
really
だった
big
ら
Pokemon
出しなが
on
ら
the
ダメ
side
ー
of
ジする
MYS. I think if you're Secret
そうだ
Rare,
ねまあ
they're
どうして
gonna
も
just
入
start
るしかない
talking
から
as
ね
a team,
右側の
right?
構
This
成
game, it's
そうね
basically
入って
over. What happens going into
点
this
数
next game?
リー
And
ドは
on
欲しか
our
ったね
very first series here, we're
SR
already
側
getting ourselves a tie. Heading
まあ
into
その入らんといけ
game
ない状況
3 to
ではあったもん
see
ね
who will be
でもどうなんだろう
winners
言う
of
て
the first match
下側
of
に固まってたのは
Southeast Asia.
MYS だったから出抜け
coming
とかは
with
全然いけ
something
た気は
that
するけど
have not been
まあそ
done
したらもうラッシー
by
じゃん
many
けんになっ
teams
て
before,
ラッシー別
and
に強いわ
it
けじゃないか
was
ら
the very first Tyranitar to be
過去の
played out
形作
here
っ
in the
てったら
Asia
いいと
Champions
思う
League.
し
Yeah, it actually is the first Tyranitar. I
点
just,
数よりな
I
んかあんま
think
関係ない気
MYS,
する
they
ね
had
き
a
っと同じ
very
人権
great
だと
idea coming into this
なんか
battle. They knew that
昔の
last
戦み
game,
てえな
Secret Rare were only really relying on a few Pokemon to be their main damage
びっくり
dealers,
ま
right?
と
You've got Snorlax and Eldegoss. These two Pokemon aren't the best when it comes to
大
damage.
体
They
の
do
エン
help
リ
with
の枠なん
utility
か
sustain
もっ
and
といいのありそうだ
disables.
ったけどな
But
そうね
if you
マ
take
リ
a look
リ
at
はなんか
MYS,
そう
I mean, almost everybody, maybe aside the
そう
Blissey,
ね
is able to do some kind of damage, meaning
何
that
が
they're a
良かっ
threat
た
when
か
they're
は
on
結
that
構むずいん
field.
だけど
So
言うて私ら
I
が
think
採
if you're
用してる
Secret
し
Rare,
ある程
maybe
度
you need to
守られ
step
て強
away
い系
from
ポケモン
a
でも
lot of the
まあ
utility.
強い系
Maybe you need to pick up something that can deal a lot of damage
Oh,
because I
oh.
feel the
他に重
Dodrio
いか
this
経
game,
験
it
値が
didn't quite do a lot for
まあ
Secret
でも
Rare. We didn't really
い
see
や
him get any big score lines. He wasn't able to go into the back lines and snipe Mew. I think that's really the big thing when you're picking up the Dodrio. You want to be picking off those really small squishy Pokemon in the back lines, and they just didn't have any openings, right? Reebok is running at you. What do you do?
白髪だね。
You
白髪マリ
just,
ール出した。
run away. That's the only thing that you could possibly do. And if you're a Dodrio, yep,
上側
that's
で
that's
パピ
probably
コン
That's
と
what
と
you
あ
do.
の味見
Yeah.
あれだっ
So
け
with that, I believe this is where they really have to figure out the next
まあ経
composition that
験
they
値軽
bring
めのや
up.
つの方が多分
Would have to
天
either
の並び合
counter
いやすいけ
what's
ど、その
currently
2枚の
being
カウンタ
shown
ーと
by
して
Team MYS, because
バンギハピ
from
バ
what
リ
we
だな。
see
スト
here,
ライ
it
クム
was
ーンい
the
るから、
priority
まあ
was
確
on
か
it
に
Mr. Mime initially, and for
ちょ
two
っと
games in a row,
出しづらさ
Secret
もあ
Rare
る
have
な
let this Mew pass into the hands of MYS. So is this one of the core components that they will really have to factor in to remove, because you see
早めに
nobody
出
has
す
been
価
able
値がある
to
と。
even get a chance on
アマージュ
any of
は
all these backlines with them being so
3、
nimble.
4ピック
Yeah,
が
I mean they already
そうそうそう。
struggled
これ
to
バンギ
actually
の
get
カウ
to
ン
the
ター
Mew
マ
to
ジです
begin
ごい
with,
良かっ
right?
た
Like
な。
especially during that
よかったね。
Rayquaza
準備してたん
fight,
か
we
な
saw
バンギ。
Eva trying to come in from the back with the bushes. We saw Dodrio
してたでしょう
investing
ね。多分知
everything
ら
to
んけ
try
ど
and get Mew. Literally survived on a sliver of health and just got picked off himself. So
まあ
I can
バリ
see
ミューストライク
Secret
ハ
Rare
ピ
having
上側の
solutions.
ピッ
It's
クはマジ
just
でなん
in
か
this game it really just
何でもい
hasn't.
けそうな気がしてるか
Yeah,
ら。
and I believe that in the early
そう
game
まあ
we
バンギ
see
見
a
て
lot of
で
all
やる
these
しか
effort
なかった
coming
け
from
ど
Secret Rare to dunk as many points, especially with the Dodrio doing what it does best, storing a lot of EOS, goes ahead to go for a couple of all these runs. But these sort of skirmishes was looking pretty concerning from the get-go for Secret Rare, where Team MYS piles in a whole lot of pressure on that bottom lane, and after that, it has been just
look-
overwhelming.
Look at the entire team though. I mean, we're very rarely seeing their health tick down to half, right? There's just so much healing and sustain as well on the side of MYS. Like they can fight back to back. They don't care. Whereas for Secret Rare, they've only got the Eldegoss for any kind of healing. And this means that their fights, unless they're the ones that are dealing most of the damage and surviving, it's just they're not able to get their health back in time.
まあ、カビシラが取ったよね、フ
The
ァースト
Mew
で。
still
高校の。
1戦目はバリカビだったけど、まあ、そのバリ取られたから多分もうそこはみたいな感じで
そうね
back,
だいぶ早め
sure,
に
play sustain comms all you
サ
want.
ポ
We have something that hits
を
twice as hard as you can basically heal if that's the case. So when it comes down
まあ
to
取ってい
what
くっ
you've
て
just
いう
mentioned,
方針。
it's exactly the case. Tyranitar just
なのかな
fits perfectly into that comp where all these melee Pokemon see.
Like you can't run at them.
Yeah, you can.
You've picked
Dodo
Azumarill, you've
あ
picked
まあとか
Serena.
そこら
These are
辺と
Pokemon that want
相
to
性
run
のポケモンでは
into
別にない
you
から
and just
ポイント
fight
数で
you
決
head
めま
on.
した。
Tyranitar,
ポイント数で決めて、
nah, you can't do that.
え
Not with the
ーと
Tyranitar.
He's definitely in for that challenge. in
2
that
試合目以
case,
降は
right? So,
負けた側が選択。
that
so
was
now,
absolutely
like you
interesting
said,
what we have just witnessed overall. So I believe that might actually
まあ
require maybe a little bit
まあ
more
さっきの試
overhaul
合、ア
of
マハ
what
ピー結構
Rare
強
can
かったし
actually do,
ま
because
あ、マ
for
ジック
now
の
it
なん
looks
かあれ
very
で
linear for 2 games in a row. They've already shown their
続
cards,
投
so
っていう
it's the time that they
感
have
触良かっ
a
たし、続
plan
投
B
説
that
も。
they've yet to show
Ma-
the
ma-
world
ma-
what they're
ma-
made of.
I mean, we don't really have too much
アマ
data
取るん
on
だったら
Secret
さ
Rare,
ハピ
right?
取って
So
きたくない
they
バ
might
カな
have
わ
some
けで
Pokemon
な
in
こ
their
とない
back
のか
pocket. I mean, Dragapult. I
Mm.
say
Ma-
Dragapult as if he's an
確かに
amazing Pokemon. We
最初
haven't
から
seen this
マージョ
Pokemon
取る
in
予
the
定なら
competitive scene
ハッピーの
yet.
がい
I'm
いな
really keen to see this
多
Pokemon
めにし
appear.
てっていうのでも全然
But I
そうだけ
think
ど
there is absolutely room for Secret Rare to sort of come in and say, like, hey, we've got a surprise pick too. You know, you've got the Tyranitar, we've got something else that's going to be able to really get in there.
バリ
I
取られ
think if
て
you、are worried about the Tyranitar happening
最
again
初
in
バリ
Game
だしな。
3, if you're
バリ
Secret
取られ
Rare, you
て、
need to play a composition that's actually going to dive into MYS's jungle early. That's one of the biggest ways to slow down the Tyranitar. If you pick up something like a Greedent, heck, you can even send the Snorlax. Just run right into MYS's jungle and start pressuring the Tyranitar while he's not fully evolved yet. That Pokemon can't really do much by himself, and it's going to force the supports out of the side lanes to try and protect the Tyranitar. If you pick two strong laners,
球根ワ
you
タと
can
かも見てた
actually
りしてた
take
のかな。
advantage of this and potentially win the lanes.
か、まあ、
Just keep
やっ
bullying
ぱ
the
ドラフ
Tyranitar,
トで
keep all the attention there, and then strike the side lanes while they're still weak.
先にワタ取るのも、ま
Stanley's
あ、
just giving the
Well, I'm
強めの
just-
策ではあるか
No,
ら
I。don't have it. It's
Ma,
just, I
そうね、
think this is
集団戦で
absolutely a
安定
way
感
that they
But
can think about
序
it.
盤の
Um,
4人とか
I'm not-
戦いぶとかも
I'm
強い
not
し
playing in the tournament, so I'm not as
対応もいけるし。
player. I'm not a pro, okay, but I'm not a coach either.
Well,
I'm a failure.
I think
but
like
Well,
that's basically ideal. I mean, you're not wrong at all. Where we take a look at, you know, when Lavitars in the early game, they could only afford to do so much. I mean, it takes a while to farm up until you
level
hit.
9.
Yeah, level 9.
1時間2時間はマジである。
Forever to some players out there, and when we look at a competitive setting, like you're looking to funnel everything that you can have, and you will expect to bump into this Lavitar Pupitar before it even turns into Tyranitar. So
this was the last pick, by the way. So they didn't roll
yeah,
that
yeah.
Avatar, but let's be honest,
Kabi
we're
no
really secret right now
Kabi
about it, and look at that Mew gone. Don't are you
言うて代用はいるもん。
Dragapult?
あれだ、サイドチェンジ
Perhaps
だ。
this is the
サイ
answer,
ド
and
変わっ
also
て
take note for the
ド
fact
ラ
that
パ
we
ルと
have
ファーストは
not
ないでしょ、さ
seen
すがに
any。
ウーラをしてね、やっぱウーラはサイドだから。
Airship makes sense. I was like, Dragapult? Okay.
まあまあま
But
あ。
that also allows room for Froggy to secure Mr. Mime. Will they basically run it back for another go? That will be the question overall. There's also Snorlax if they really want to, but instead, MYSAs will still want to bring that Scythe back.
Yeah, Scythe is back, Mr. Mime is back, and so far these are two proven Pokemon. And Secret Rare, they managed to pick up that Blissey for themselves this time. So no more Blissey on MYS. I wonder if they'll go back to the Clefable. I mean, what else could they pick? Would they pick the Eldegoss for themselves? Like, how else would you buff up? Alright, no Tyranitar,
さっきなら、まあ、それこ
totally
そさっ
fine.
き
And actually, this is, I
ドラ
want to
パ
see
チ
what
アつ
Mew
かせ
is
た
going to
し
play here.
ドラ
Like,
パ
what's Night Mew
ハ
Fox
ピ
going
ナ
to
ス
play? He played Mew for the
魔
first
法
two
ハッピ
games.
とかのから並びも
そう
What's
ね。
his Pokemon now?
そうでもある。
光栄めの
Not sure if it's gonna
明
be
治
I think it's the
これ
last
魔法
pick.
だね。
It should be the last pick. I mean, we've never really
Like,
seen
killer
him
doesn't
too much
it?
on
Happy
an
that
Eldegoss
I'm
or so. Now, Delphox at a low 9 kills. Now, this is getting even more exciting. Like, there's actually a whole lot of damage to offer on the table from Secret Rare. And of course, you will basically have the sea as well as
会
the
議み
Snorlax to
た
break
い
wall
が
them.
バン
They
ギ
will
はなくないさす
still
がに。
have room for this
バンギは燃やさ
Tyranitar,
れそう
which is
ギは無理じゃない
rather interesting if you look at it.
分か
Like,
バンギなんだよ
they're
ね。
going back into
評価
this
高い。あの
composition
回
where
帰
you
あ、これ、
今のバグじゃない
あ、これバグだ、これ。
Go
こ
for
れ
the
バグ
last
でしょ
minute
これ最初で
It's
す。
the Machamp.
Alright, so I
Dai,
do
dai,
like
dai.
the
間違えました
Machamp pick, right? This Pokemon is really difficult to
ビッグバグ
disable.
だ。
He's basically
わるんよな、
unstunnable for the
最後に
majority of
ピ
the
ッ
game
て
でも
if he
怪
can get those
力
levels
で良
in.
さそうだ
He
け
is
どな。
very good when it
あ、
comes
て
to
か
the damage department, and they have a
ど
really
うなんだろ
good
う。
dive comp. You've got
怪力
running,
良
you've
さ
got
いいと思
Froggy
う。
to
明
run
治
in,
2枚
you've
が
got
1点
まあ、どの
Luke
道バグだから
to、be able to jump
まあ
in,
バン
and
ギラ
we
スになるんだけ
just
ど。
got confirmation from production. We are going to quickly remake the game because I do believe there was a
Ah,
minor
remake
bug.
game.
So
Remake
apologies
だ
to
ね、これ
people
は。
that were very excited. Just give us
そう
2 minutes.
ド
We're
ラ
going to
フ
restart the
ト
lobby and we will
の
jump right into
高
it.
校の5番目の
But
ピックが、
interesting decisions coming
ま
in
あ
for
意図
MYS.
してない
They've
ピ
gone for like the
ックに
3
なっちゃう
all-round
っていうバグがあ
strat.
って今
They've got big
大会モードで
but
も
they are a little bit
発生してるんだけど、それ
demanding in the
は
levels
カスタムでも
department, right?
ゲー
You've
ム
got
内大
Machamp,
会
you've
の
got Aegislash, you've got
あれで
Scyther.
も発生し
Scyther
てるん
maybe
だ
not
け
so
ど、
much. You can get those levels in,
Mhm.
but they're gonna
ま
have
あ
to
大
try and
会
figure out
ち
how
ゃんと
they're
し
going
た
to get
公
the
式の大会だ
experience
か
on
ら
their
まあ
team.
これが起きたら
Yeah, and I do
まあ
believe
再
that
試合
they would be
になる
playing with a little bit more of a slower tempo as what we've seen in the
バン
past
ギ
two
か
games where
バンギなん
both
だね
teams are usually
いや
will
再
only
現方
commit
法は分か
when
んな
they
い
feel ready to do so.
分かん
So,
ないけ
with
ど
that being said, I expect Secret Rare
でもなん
to
か
do
キャラ
well
変わってないみたい
in
な、
the
ちゃちゃっ
game
と
phase
キャラ変更したりとか
what we've seen
で
on
な
the
んか
Pokemon
なるイメージはある。
rosters.
そうだね。なん
When
か
it
見せて
gets
た
to
見
late
せて
game
た
is
キャラ
where
に
they
なり
have
が
to be
ち
a。little bit more careful if they
なり
really
が
want
ち。
to seek their
そう
way
ピカチュウ
並ぶ時も
ピカチュウ出して
あ
て、
る
その後マホクシー取ろうって思ってマホクシー確定してもするとピカチュウになりがち。
right down bottom, right? So there's a lot of factors, and now on game 3, stakes are high. We're looking at the
事
first
前選
team
択、
to
まあ
be
前
able
に
to
選んでた
secure
ポケモ
the
ン
big
に
3-pointer. So
うん
なんか割とね、
I'm
こ
honestly
う、
not
矢
too
印
sure,
キーとか
but
でちょんちょ
of
んちょんっ
course
てキャ
I
ラ変え
do
てる
love
と
myself
変わって
the
ないことあるん
creativity
だよね。
being displayed by
はいはいはいはい
MYS.
はい
And as for Secret
そんな
Rare,
感じ
of
で
course, I won't
キャラ
ever
変えたけ
call
ど、
them
なん
the
かこうシ
doctor
ス
or
テム上は
anything,
変わって
even
な
though,
くて決定
there's
をしたら
not
そこ
much
で
data.
残っちゃうんだ
They
よ。
fight like
なるほ
true
どね。
知らんけ
warriors
ど。
and champions, and my word, like the first game itself, that was a true comeback.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they decide to do with the Urshifu
imagine
because
that.
it's been banned for the first 2 games. It was finally able to go through. I want to know if it's going to be dark or water Urshifu, right? Are you going to go for big damage or are you going to be that really annoying Urshifu that's just going to run around, stun you up? I think in most cases it's going to be dark, but maybe they're going to come in and surprise us and
Hey,
say like,
senpai-san,
hey,
konbanwa.
the
Miyare-san,
buffs for
konbanwa.
Water Urshifu were good enough. We're going to try and use this so that we give openings for Delphox and
ゲー
along
ム
the
内大会で
Ninetales.
も起きちゃってるからね。
I'm really
まあ
excited to see how they also utilize this new comp because I think this is the first time that we're really seeing them use
修
ranged
正
attackers, right?
まあ認
They're
知はしてる
mostly
だろう
playing
から
melee, but now with the Delphox
早
and
めに
along the
修正され
Ninetales,
るんではないで
are
し
they
ょう
going to
か。
be able to create enough space between the
知らんけ
attackers
ど。
and then all the melee
Angelo.
Pokemon on the side of MYS, right? Because MYS,
し
they
てく
want
れ
to
るで
get
し
in
ょ
your face, they want to try and jump on top of you. Can you protect your two high
いや
damage
ー海外の
range
バンピック
Pokemon?
うめえ
And
な
you also
に
have
し
to
て
worry
も。
about the Tyranitar in the front
最後の
line.
バンギラス
I think they swapped the
は
Tyranitar
わかんなかったけ
to
ど。
Machamp.
Oh yeah.
It
ま
was
あ
like
う
a
まい可
very
能性ある
last
から
minute
見てみ
change.
たいね。
Well, I'm not too sure.
浅い
it might
浅い
just
可能
be
性がある俺らが。
bug,
Oh, but
Yeah.
also the, so the
So,
bug
so
is
much-
honestly,
okay.
I'm not too sure,
Bug
but
is-
We'll find out.
let's
Maho.
give it a
Yeah,
shot. That it is a
Maho
Machamp,
まあ
and
魔法はドラッ
that
パーみ
is
たいな
also
うん
pretty
まあ
tough
そん
な感じ
to
だと思うんだよ
deal
な
with,
あの
like you said,
枠。
like
よかったと
some
思う
of all these hindrances that they will be putting
聞
into
こえに
these
入ってく
team
るキャラ
fights
ダメだし、
will not have
ハピナスも入っていて、守れるし
the。amount of effect that they will require to basically take him down as quickly as they want to. So could that buy enough time for MYS to basically topple
これ
down?
こそなんか
Super
ド
Red?
ドストライクと
Because,
か
like you said,
闇
this
闇
time
ド
it
ド
looks a little
あ
bit
そん
better,
な感じの
especially
2
with
歳児とかい
those
るんだったらマジ
range
で
attackers involved.
ハピナスだけじゃ守りきれんからきつ
I
いん
mean,
だ
I'm
けど、
really excited to
あ
see
る
this
程度
game
見え
start.
た後
You
だっ
know,
たら、
we've seen 2 games
まあ
where
やっ
it's
ぱ
been
4番目
relatively
か5
slow
番
during
目
that
に
early
取るの
game.
は
Is it maybe time
そう
for
ね。
Secret
うん
Rare to
カウン
speed
ター取られ
things
づらい
up?
タイミング
Because
で
the
取りたい。
game's tempo
取り
has
たい
really been dictated by
いや
Secret
な
Rare
ま
up
あ
until
取
this
ら
point.
れ
Game
さもある
1,
かな
they were playing slow, they were playing
2、3番目
conservatively,
で普通に
focusing
取っ
on
てきたりする
levels.
からさ、
Game
むずいよ
2,
な、その
more or
辺。
less the same because they were
むずい。
trying to stay toe
取
to
り上
toe
げら
with
れちゃう
MYS. Do they
のも
now need to apply
あるから。
pressure to MYS because MYS are the
まあ
ones
取
running
り
a
上
bit
げ
of a
られる
slower
んだったら
draft?
敵にマホが入っ
And
て
of course,
まあ
we're
ド
going
ドこっ
to
ち
be
が
moving
逆にド
into
ドスト
our
みたいな
game
アサシン目の構成が
pretty
組めるの
quickly
であ
as
れ
we
ば。
go back
逆
into
に
the
アサシン
drawing
でもいいし、
board of the
まあ、逆
draft.
に
So
睨み合える名
we
付けも出
expect
しやすくなるし。
very similar picks heading in, so we're just gonna run it
まあ
all the
Yep,
way
same
back,
pick.
so nothing is going to be changed.
Yep, so it's exactly the same. We just got
ちょっとリボン
confirmation
グス
that
が
I think just
バン
because
ギ
of
ラ
a
スを
little
用
bug,
意してたのか、
we
す
had
ご
to
い気
sort
に
of
な
go
るんで
back
調
through
べて
the,
こよ
the pick and ban phase. So apologies to all of our viewers
う。さっ
for
きの試合の
the
2試合目の
inconvenience, but we will be starting in a moment as the players are just gonna, you know, sweep through all these picks. And I presume they're also just gonna pick them up on the,
Pretty
the
much
relative players
bang
as well.
yet
So
catching
everyone
up
should
the
be
keys.
picking what they're playing. Worst comes to worst, they can
まあ
always
ドラフトにおいては全然
do
悪
it
くない
during
ピ
the
ック
preparation
な可能
phase.
性ある
It's
よね
really。not that big of a deal.
パワー高い
That's
からね、バン
true.
ギラス。刺
So
さる
of
相手には。
course,
あんまりマークで
we
きてなかっ
followed
たけど。
absolute correct order. I just love the discipline coming from players as
タ
well.
ンクを取らずに、
So hey
ハ
guys, do
ピ
you
ナス
remember
と
what
組
we
み
picked
合わせてあ
next?
れが前に入るから、その分ミュートかも
I
打ち
don't
やすい
know.
し。
Oh, an Eldergoss? I thought it was something else. Nah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just kidding. Just kidding.
That's alright.
Or
ワ
we're
ン
just
の
gonna
重さだけマジで不
have
安だけど、
uh,
こうなんとかなるん
the
だったら。
focus
Oh, it
being
was
given.
Tyranitar. So it must have been
Oh.
a misclick. Maybe that's why they had to go for the repick. Okay, so it's not Machamp. Because we both
サメは
saw
本当になんか、
いや、全
Tyranitar.
然やっ
No,
て
we
そう
both
ね
saw
全
Tyranitar
然やって
being
ないわ、
flashed
リ
on
ボ
the
ング
screen,
ス
but。then it was
全然やって
Machamp.
ない。
Maybe, yeah, it sounded like it was a bug.
ドタンまで
So
出
no
た。
Machamp, Tyranitar.
2回ぐらいはやっ
Interesting. Really
Yeah.
interesting.
So of
て
course
るか
that
も。
goal leads
2、
back to
3
our
回やってるだ
conversation
け
as
だ
well,
な。
where
そもそもこの人、
having
カ
this
ビと
AU
かピ
slash
クシーとか持って
that
る。
also offers a
最
little bit
近。
more range
タンク枠なんだ、
to
じゃあ、バ
compare
ンギ
with.
の使い
So,
方。
ooh, this is gonna be
こんな
hot.
感じ。
This is
Absolutely.
definitely gonna be the battle to witness. So, is it gonna be Secret Rare or Team MYS? You tell us on the
まあ、
Twitch
ラオ
chat.
ス
Definitely, let's get it
だけじゃ
on.
ないけど
Let's、go! Make sure you're cheering for your teams in
まあ
the chat.
左有利か
Send
な。
them your
SR
energy
側
because of
が
course they
バ
do
ンピ
watch
ックで
these
勝ってる
streams
気は
after
す
the
る。
games as well, and they would love to see all the support from you amazing trainers tuning into the stream. So here we go, jumping into game 3
俺らがやろう
between
としてた
Secret
あれ
Rare
だ。
and Team MYS.
ウラオスに
Winner
対
is
して
going to
ガル
walk
ド
away
キッ
with
クだ。
3 points,
気になるん
and
だ だよな。
loser, unfortunately, will stick to one. Super important that they start their tournaments
やっぱ
early
ラスキ
with
ーある
that
程度取れるや
3-point
ついないと
advantage.
もうほぼ
Let's see what
もうラ
happens
スキー
here.
取られちゃうもんね
Laning wise, we're going to be seeing Rebongs heading back into the central area here for Team MYS. Secret Rare, though, they're going to be running that mid Del Fox. So they're going to go for high damage, high burst. Let's see if this is going to be enough for the Filipino team to win against MYS.
And definitely seemed to be a really good chance here. Froggy just casually bypasses Dan. Like, you're still early, so you won't expect all too much coming in from the Snorlax. But he's still gonna be pretty hungry to retaliate.
右下
So
狩るのが遅いラクマは。
realistic,
ラクマは狩るのが遅いので取れない。
going to be higher on the food chain than the waiter, so
マジ遅いんだよ
Dan
な、イ
should
エス
have
さ
an
ん狩る
advantage
の
here on top of
倒
Froggy,
す
but
の。
laning wise, I'd say that this
Oh,
Froggy
massively遅い。
Foxy
本当
combination
に
is
遅い。
quite difficult for Dan to deal with,
3
right?
年はかか
And
る、このイエ
Reebok
スさ
has
ん倒
come
すの
in
に。
as well. He's gone for the Dark Pulse build as well, so being low health, he is being stunned up. They do eliminate that Snorlax. Early KOs, especially if you're rotating a Pupitar, is huge.
だ
it
からもう
is, and that wall
4.9
came
レベ
perfectly on
一体
time.
取ってウーラオ
Froggy
ス。
just doing
いや、これは
magnificent work again.
理想の
So
形
that
で
also
はある、ウ
allows
ーラオスの。
Rebounds to quickly
そう
get
ここからバリアードに
with
勝てるから
that
ね、とりあえ
Astra pick-off. So
アレンはだいぶ余裕できそ
Secret
う。
Rare, they definitely have to just keep it pretty stable until the
カビ
their
ゴン
power
は
spike
下
hits.
暇なんだよ
So,
な。下暇だし、
of course,
カジャン入
it's
ってこ
all
ないんだっ
down
たら真ん
to
中も素
getting
晴ら
this
しい。
first food
確かに
Oh,
こ
no.
の
online.
この下
Yeah,
の
it's
そうよ
absolutely
ね
go time,
俺らも
especially
そ
when
う
you've
だ
got
け
that
ど
Delphox and the Alolan Ninetales
相
ready to
方の
go.
人
So
急に
Delphox has
まあ
fully evolved on the
まあ
side
ぶっ
of
ちゃけ
Secret
真ん中で視界
Rare.
取ったり
Let's see what the decision is. Are they
何
going
か
to
しらやることあ
apply
るっちゃあるんだけど
pressure to these goals? Maybe try and eliminate them early,
でも結
eliminate the
局
mobility on the side of Team MYS
視界を
because
取る
you
まで
do
わかんない
lose
か
the
ら、そ
speed
のタイミングで
fluxes
するのは
once the
マ
goals
ジ
are
暇なん
down.
だよな。
But everyone looks like they want to try and contest for
足り
these
ないけ
mid
ど、
Swablu
割と
and
しゃあない
Altaria.
感
So
じは
far,
ある。
MYS were able to get the
何かはしてたね。
majority of them. So Secret
ロリオ
Rare,
の方の
a bit
早
too
くてこ
slow.
こから上ダイブ
Yeah,
準備してね
and Secret Rare
ただ
is
よく見られて
playing
る
a
よな、
little
どう
bit
な
more
るか。
defensively right now.
Mm.
Expecting this
対応できてる。
attack coming in, MYS. They're lucky to strike
無理
while the
かな、
iron is
さすがに。
hot, but they are also getting chased back. Great retaliation from Secret Rare. Can they have enough damage to take down Nightmeal Foxy?
So
Apparently
close.
not.
So close. Schwab almost had him, but the dash out
まあ俺ら
there
と下側
from
裏をして、バイクに
Foxy
入ってや
able
ってる
to
だろうし。
survive. So no knockouts, no trades,
Botan
and
まで
now
来
we're
てる。
just having this 1v1 here between Urshifu and Mr. Mime. And this is what Froggy does best.
Ari botan
This
なんだ。
player is very good at being able to control
珍しい。
a single
珍しい
lane
ね。
by himself. And now they're going to try and turn the tables here. Miva trying to do what he can. This is Dark Urshifu as well for players that might not be too
あら、何やる
familiar
んだろうみんな。
with the form of
あ、痛い
Urshifu
痛い
being
痛い痛い
picked.
痛い
And so far,
あ、
Nightmute
強い
Foxy
ガルド。
just skewers him, throws him on a
ここ倒
kebab,
せ
and
たらい
then
い
onto
な。
the
ここ倒したらさ
barbecue.
らに下触れ
Ooh,
る
not
ラ
looking
ッ
so
シ
good for
ュ
Secret
ウ
Rare.
ーラオ
One
ス
of
帰っ
the
て
big
くる
things
前
of
にラッシ
Urshifu
ュ
is that this
したいけ
Pokemon
ど
can
で
do
す
big damage, but
もう間に合わ
now
ない
that
な
the Aegis Slash,
先に陣形取って味方も
Yeah,
寄せ
and you
て、
can already see all the skills all
Maybe
pulled
come on,
up.
Manya,
But
Manya.
here goes Dan in the middle of it
間に合
all.
わないわ
oh, the right
Gilgardo.
side's going to get the points there. So
Gilgardo.
Team
Gilgardo
MYS were able to get
Keduri
the Reggie for
の速さは
themselves, and Secret Rare, they've lost
出たね。
two Pokemon in that
0.5
battle
秒
as
か1
well.
秒か。そ
They
れ
have
ぐらい
the
だったら
Alolan Ninetales here and the Delphox
牛
trying
タン
to
だけい
protect
たら
the goals,
もう
but unfortunately, both being ranged, squishy Pokemon, they're not able to get too close to Team MYS because, let's be real, if they breathe on any of them, they are getting eliminated. So again, Tier 2's being protected here for Secret Rare, but look at this, MYS just diving right on top of them. These Pokemon are relentless.
返すよ
Wow, this is even more aggression that we saw in the past match, and they are still holding on. Look at the regeneration, and it looks like Schwa is in trouble.
ヒヤリとす
Still
る
surviving. Finally, they took out
ヒヤ
that
リ場面だったね、今の。
Aegis Slash is
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and it looks like the defense here for Secret Rare, it finally kicks in, but it did take a while, right? Some Pokemon did go down, and MYS, they were able to do the damage. They're going to go back, maybe continue to battle these wild Pokemon, get some more levels, but Reggie
タイミン
Lucky
グ
is
から
on
上行
that
っ
top
て
lane, and I do suspect
ボー
we're
ル
going to
割
be
ってとか
seeing
でも
a
結局
big
ね、
fight
時
out
間
there
かかって
very
試合ないと
soon.
上がっちゃうから、それだったらさっさ
Where
と下側でだいぶ
most
狙
of
っ
the
て、
players of Secret Rare have already congregated over top lane to contest for that Reggie Lucky, but could they basically offer in the lane because they're about to be overwhelmed by MYS?
Yeah, so it's going to be 3 versus 4 here because both range attackers on Secret Rare are in the bottom lane, and they were trying to go after Froggy. He is still alive, but so far top lane is going to be in favor of MYS. They're already able to take down 2. Urshifu is next. Is Miva going to survive? He will get both Oran Berries. They're going to try and score these points, eliminate this goal to prevent Secret Rare from having that speed flux, and it looks like they will finally get it. Goals are broken. Reggie Lucky is exposed, and Secret Rare, they've lost a lot of control on this map.
Yeah, Secret Rare slowly losing the plot as well. I mean, they have not been all too coordinated in the past 2 couple of battles, and MYS, they just have sure damage to offer in all these team fights. And who do you really want to focus on? The AG Slash or the Scyther? You pick one, because I don't know. It's equally difficult when they offer so much.
Look, Nightmare Foxy is just going to dive into the back lines. And here's the issue when you're running that Snorlax. Snorlax is a great Pokemon if you don't have an easy way to just dive right past him. He's great at blocking, he's great at keeping you where you are, but if you get right behind him, he's not the best when it comes to defending your squishy attackers. But here we go, we've got another battle in that bottom lane. They're ready to get taken on the side of NYS. They had the shield, but it looks like they're going to be losing Nightmare Foxy here, unfortunately. But look at that top lane. We've got Froggy, we've got Rebongs, quickly scoring these points in. And both Pokemon are level 11 as well, so they will be getting the boosts to their first abilities. And I just don't see them being knocked out here.
Yeah, there's not going to be all too much of a chance to eliminate Mr. Mon when you have turn around.
Oh, that hurts, man. Oh, my heart. My heart goes out to the poor Blissey.
Well, that's what Scythers do best overall, and that is just a clean sweep. He was coming in out of the players out of Team MYS now. He's just hoping to get the spot Nightmare Foxy, but there's not enough members to actually deal much, so he's just gonna dive all the way to the back. Not the wisest of move, but Secret Rare gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have a choice. He almost got the Delphox, so that would have been a great pickup if he was able to get it, but here's the thing, it's a Delphox and a Alola Ninetales, both Pokemon very high damage output, so if you can't get the snipes really quick, you will be going down. So it's not too bad for Secret Rare. I still worry about this Rayquaza fight because they have to fight around the pit. It's a small area, and there's just so much pressure on Dan to be able to set up for the attackers. Now, Alola Ninetales in that bottom lane, it would only have 3 Pokemon defending. I mean, NYS, I don't think they need to push that top lane, and they're not going to. They're just going to clear out the jungle, make sure they get this experience from all the wild Pokemon, deny it from Secret Rare, and can we get the Registeel? This would be great.
They're thinking about it. Most likely they could basically solo this because none of the members of Secret Rare looks like they are going to be attending to this. And also keep in mind that on that contest for Rayquaza, they've already have been able to successfully spot out Nightmare Foxy. So long as they take out Nightmare very early on and have Dan to be positioned perfectly, so they can deal with everybody else, but Rebongs, I think like that's where the clutch comes in.
All aboard the Dan train now. Can Dan set up for the team? It really comes down to him if he can get that really nice high horsepower, if he's able to get the blocks up to prevent that Aegis Slash from getting into the back lines. You can see the team is so tense. They managed to catch one, just the Eldegoss, and Rebongs coming in from that bottom section. Now they are split. They do need to still be careful here.
It's just a little bit of a dance before the storm comes in, and here we go.
Eva trying to set up for the team, but so far they don't get an elimination. They do some big damage, and so far Eldegoss is down on the side of NYS. They do have, they've lost a lot of their sustain, and now it's going to be the block shenanigans, the high horsepower. But it looks like they're taking Pokemon down. They've actually lost it. It's really down to the Delphox who do most of the damage here. Blissey and Delphox. Can they maybe get the steal? Because we know Delphox. It's got one of the highest damage skills in the game, and no, they will not get the steal off, unfortunately. And now it's scoring time for Team MYS.
まあ狙いは戦いさせてその間にも一気を終わらせようってあれで、でまあ結果終わらせれなかっただけではあるんだけど。
多分まあ球根とか手前に来るバンギーしか殴れなくなっちゃうから、うまいことバンギー無視して魔法が立ち回って回復出そうとしたけど、ダメージがない。
Out-sustain and single out Secret Rare members. Rebong still trying to go for some points out there, but 622 is more than sufficient with only 20 seconds left.
Even if every Pokemon on Secret Rare does 50 points apiece, there'll be 100 each, they would still be 1 point off. Even if they got the clear, so it would have been a very, very difficult game here for Secret Rare. But I mean, NYS, they secured the game. They just went for the extra points. They knew that Secret Rare were going to just try and score the area. So, man, NYS
早めに2サポート
I can understand, and I can totally understand what Secret Rare were trying to do, right? I think they were hard pressed to engage. They had to be the ones to initiate because they knew MYS had the lead. They didn't have to fight Rayquaza. They just had to try and keep Secret Rare off it for long enough.
Yeah, and overall, the ball was on the court of Team MYS, and I believe that this well thought out strategy of the composition has been working out so well, and there's plenty more that Team MYS will have in their playbook that we have not seen, but what Secret Rare has offered to take a point off of MYS, I think like that itself has been really much commendable, and we definitely do look forward to what else Secret Rare can actually bring into this league circuit of the Asia Champions League.
Yeah, this is a team I'm really looking forward to seeing play throughout the season. I mean, I came in with no expectations, and this is not to disrespect the team, but I wanted to give them
裏押す入れててもオブジェクト触れてないからこっちから
そうね、ここで KO 取られちゃって
下折れちゃってだからそう
That's right, and I think like there's definitely a whole lot more that they could basically work on. There's still many more weeks where they'll be challenging other teams here in Southeast Asia, but there's a lot of first that we're seeing here for day one of Southeast Asia. We see ourselves Renatar, we finally got our Muse as well.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's exciting.
It just goes to show why the Pokemon's banned as well, right? Like, we saw Mew a couple times, we saw the shenanigans it can do. It's like, yeah, nah, you're going back into the ban pool. Not this time, get out of here. Oh goodness, but MYS picking up those 3 points for themselves, going to be very happy as well. Starting off the season strong, because every 3 points that you get is going to push you closer and closer to getting that first seed. Like, so far, that's what the teams are aiming for. Get the first seed, guarantee the invite to the land finals, and then basically just battle the second seed team after that, right? To try and figure out, are you going to be the first seed or second seed going into that grand final?
That's right, and of course, with that being said, let's also take a look at the replays once more, because this battle, oh boy, it's been quite the tussle, but a lot of attention has been given to Night Mew, Foxy, and all these spectacular plays, especially this one though. Look at how far back he went in just to chase the low 9 kills.
Yep, this is the beauty of Aegislash. It's one of the few Pokemon that can just really dive deep into the backlines and just have so much sustain doing it as well. He's able to get a lot of health back, he's able to block a lot of the damage as well, and the fact that he's diving into the backlines, he's drawing attention to himself, and so that means your teammates are more or less free to assist with doing extra damage or stuns. So Night Mew, Foxy on the Aegislash. This man can play Mew, but this man can also play Aegislash.
Yeah, he's an all-rounder trainer, if you ask me. So that position for MYS here worked perfectly for them. They beelined into that corner, and it was the Tyrant card that able to choke out at least 2 to 3 members of Secret Rare. And that's where these members are scattered, and MYS just absolutely went into some heavy punishment.
Absolutely. So that's going to conclude our first best of 3 of the day. Congratulations to Team MYS. They played fantastic for all 3 games. Secret Rare, so close yet so far, but they will still take home that 1 point. I think that's the most important thing. Start the tournament off, get at least that second win, because if you get nothing, that doesn't feel that great.
Yeah. I guess like there's still many of all these games to go. Like sometimes you may not get the results that you desire, but remember, every single weekend we'll still get ourselves a little bit more of a chance. So with at least 5 days to prepare for or so, we'll definitely see what could they possibly concoct as we transition into an evolutionary tournament. I don't even know. I'm losing my words because
actually that was really cool. Evolution, you know, Pokemon evolving, getting stronger, battling, training, that kind of business. I mean, that's really what's happening. As you play the tournament, you're going to learn more about the teams. You're going to understand their dynamics, what they're good at, what they're not so great at, the Pokemon that they play. You have to adjust on the fly as well. You can't go into a flying gym with a grass type Pokemon. You have to adjust and either pick up a rock type. But we do have some great news, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a quick interview here with Rebong. So let's hear it for Rebong. welcome
下馬
to
評
the stream.
は
How are you doing
RNS だと
today?
思うな。
Hello.
カメラついてる。
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
いやこんにちはしてる
Congratulations on the victory. You guys
Hello.
you guys looked
メガネ
absolutely fantastic. It was your first game of the tournament. How's the team feeling going into the tournament? How's your
Ibon
synergy
bisa.
so far?
I think for the first match we were
Well,
like, quite nervous, but after like a team discussion, we were quite excited, and I think we like our mindset were all in sync, so we managed to come back. Yeah.
And of course, it was a really tight battle where it went all the way to all 3 games. And you brought up the Tyranitar on game 2, and I think that changes things a whole lot more. Did the idea came from yourself, or you guys discussed it through that, hey, this is that perfect pick against this whole sustained comp that Secret Rare had?
Yeah, actually, we have been discussing like 1 hour before the competition, so we've always tried to discuss like whether Tyranitar will actually work against their team, but that's why we decided to. I mean, after looking at their comp, we decided to pick Tyranitar and just give it a go. Yeah, so it was a team kind of effort.
Well, you've done a fantastic job with the Tyranitar so far. Now, we are going to be jumping into our next matchup very soon, but I want to hear from you guys. Who do you feel like is going to be your toughest opponent in the Asia Champions League, just in the Southeast Asia division?
I think all of the teams have like a good chance to put out a great fight. I think this competition is very different because of the new draft pick. So it's quite hard to say who's the toughest opponent. Even like SR, right? They just read us like a book in the first match. So I think all of them are very great opponents. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rebongs. We're going to be seeing you in the future for your next matchup. But congratulations on your first
Thank you.
win.
All right, take
Thank
care.
you.
We'll see you soon.
All right, Pokemon trainers, that's going to conclude
Bungie
Series
car.
1, but don't go anywhere because we still have another matchup after this, and it's
Bungie.
going to be a team that you might be familiar with.
バンギ
It's
だ
gonna
から
be
勝ったって感じだな
Renaissance
そうだ
going
けど
up against, I do believe it's Escape 5.
Yeah, and this is where, of course, we get ourselves into
まあ結果最後は
another
強かった
3-game
けどね。
series. We know how good all these
ま
teams
あ
are.
そう
So
ねバラケ
Escape
ット戦っ
5,
て倒さ
they
れないや
have
つ
to
があ
go
るから
against another WCS team. So let's take a look at the updated brackets of the table as well. Now, with the victory of Team MYS, they will be our team that will be garnering 3 points and now currently sits at first place. Secret Rare managing to squeeze 1 point in, therefore their current position to second. Teams such as Rise, Escape 5, as well as Renaissance are about to get into their games. As well as Rise may have to wait for a little while before they
Next
get
week,
there.
I think. Yeah, that team's playing next week. So they get to watch everyone,
beta
they get to
stuff
see
are
some of the Pokemon coming out from everyone else. Some people would say it's an advantage, other people might say it's a
9本抑
disadvantage.
えちゃえばマジ
But
で
I
火
mean, for
力
us, we should be hyped because we've got a really
燃や
exciting
す
matchup
と
coming up soon.
一気になっ
But
ちゃうから
before that, we
白
are
髪
going
入
to
って
go
くる
for
ま
a
で帰
quick
れたら
break.
も
So
う
trainers, if you have to use
白髪いない
the
と思ってる
toilet, if
か
you need to
ら
go grab your snacks, do so now,
そ
but
れ
make
で
sure
よ
you're
っ
back in
て
5 minutes before we jump
そう
into
ね
our
ばら
next
けて
matchup. We'll see you after this
時
break.
間稼ぎながらのそういうとこでガルドバンギみたいな硬いバランスタイプ
そうだね、強えね。柔らかい構成だったらもう、そうね、白髪倒されちゃった時点でもう、順々にこう、ドミノ倒しゲーミングされて、
レックが取られるとか
レックが取られたら、そう、来ちゃうから、体の強さ、引いたね。かっこよ、この PV。バトルパスのムービー。
渋野肌山ってかっこいいよな。
かっこいいね。ドラガパルト。
ドラッパいい性能してるけどな。
マジでいいキャラだと思う。 来週ぐらいからは全然使ってくるとこあると思うけどな。
あってもいいと思う。メインサイン。それこそでもやっぱこれ見てると、やっぱキャリーの枠は柔軟な方がいい気するな。
まあそうね。
今写真多めだから固めのキャリーにしたりとか。マジで初めの天ゲコのピック、理想的。
生ゲコすごい理想的だね、確かに。
帰ってきた。小橋島さんが帰ってきた。
小橋さん離席してたの？いないなって思ってたけど。
最近どうした？
ああね。
この声は
どうも
なんだお前。なんだお前。
ルです。
ルー来たー。
はい、ルさんどうも。
これは画面共有を見たらいいんですか？
良いです。
試合始まってるってくるわ。
おはよう。まあ言うて、まだ10分後ぐらいな気する。ドラフト始まんの。
まあ、しめや。
マジで関係ない話なんだけどさ、
はい。
ナルトがさ、順次無料らしいんですよ。
漫画
噂によると、そう。100話ずつかな。今1から100無料っぽいんだけど、まあそこは見たからいいんだけど、ちょっとね、ほぼミリ集なんだよね、ナルト。楽しみ。ミリ集。
Thank you for joining us here in Pokemon Unite Asia Champions League Southeast Asia. My name is Condra. Here with me is Downley and Trainers. We got a whole lot of great Pokemon Unite action for you guys, and there's so many things that you can do here on the live stream.
意外とね、あれなんだよ。
is the place to be because you can actually walk away with a whole lot of goodies while you tune in to watch some of the best trainers of Southeast Asia contest to be the best.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the head-to-head
この
of
前
the upcoming matchup. Now,
なんだ
if
っ
you
け
didn't know,
年末かなんかにさ、DMM ブックスかなんかでさ、すげえ還元すごいやつやってたからさ、買おうと思ったんだけど、なかったんだよね。そしたらですよ。
無料で読めると。
そしたら無料で読めると、ついに。ありがたい。
ありがたい。おめでとう。
ナルトはおもろいからな、割と。いつでもおもろいからな。
ようやく読める。
顔もなきが割とない気するわ。
Shift of roster and of course certain members of departure heading into Team YS. How has this actually affected Team Renaissance in general? Because the last time we saw them,
まあ確かに公式の音英語だしな。そんなにでかい必要もないな。だいぶ下げました。
RNS なんか。
そう。マジ注目ピック。クリスピーポーク is the best。
クリスピーポーク。
クリスピーポーク。
昨日俺ら誰が紹介されてたの？リーダーからスパセルか。
スパセルだったと思う。
なんで書いてたんだろう、昨日。
クアラルンプールに行ってやりたいことは写真をたくさん撮りたいみたいなこと書いてあった。クリスピーポークがもう最高だと。
何、とんかつ？
クリスピーポークって、まあ、的な感じじゃないの？
海外のとんかつみたいなもん。
路線で行ったらも
う。うまそう。
うまそう、確かに。
やべ、お腹減ってきた。いいね、ご飯クリスピーポークでしょうかな。
普通にその買えるもんなんや、クリスピーポーク。
あら、ないかな、クリスピーポーク。コンビニない、コンビニに。
自炊しよう、自炊。クリスピーポーク自炊配信。ポケモンユナイト is my second competitive title。
セカンドなんかよ。
一つ目なんだじゃあ、
こいつ
ファースト確かに。カミルのファースト何なんだ？
だいぶ気になるな。これでセカンド。ロールとかやってんのかな？
でもさ、プロフィールに何かのプロみたいなこと書いてなかったっけ？スマイトプロみたいな。スマイトプロリーグ？
あ、スマイト。イニシエのゲームだな、なかなか。
まあ、
サナとアブソル。
まあ、カミルといえばサナ・アブソルだよな。
サナは見えるんじゃない？
サナ見たいね。サナ構成どんな戦い方してんのっていうのをね、やっぱ神視点で見れるのは非常に経験値となるはず。
Which we just saw are in team MYS. They are running 2 new players on the roster, and it's curious for me. I'm curious to see how the team dynamic might have changed with these new additions, because of course you can't expect a team to be exactly the same when you're changing 2 players. Maybe 1 player the team is going to play the same, but once you play 2, you're sort of changing how a team functions in essence.
Exactly, and I guess like with their wealth of experience, they do have a lot of ample time to also train up or even, you know, work together to form that chemistry that they've had even with the previous members. And who knows, this might just be great additions into the team that can prove to be world title challengers overall. So with that in mind, of course, we're getting ourselves ready for our first game between Escape 5 as well as Renaissance. So we start off with Escape 5 with the initial pick, and therefore
サナとか使うんだったら絶対バンしてきたいよな。
ウーラウスは何ならバンしたいよりはある。
So let's see what the bans are going to be here for both teams. It's
ハ
going to be
ッピーユー。
もうサナ守れなくさせる作戦。
これ闇取ったらさ、かなり熱いよ。
ハピなしで闇取れるのマジだ
わ。闇取りでしょ、もう。
確かにそうか。悩んでる。
高校側が闇バンしてこんかったのマジでか。
ウーラウスバンされると思ったんじゃないかな。
ね、多分そんな感じよね。
ウーラウスと堂々。
まあキャラパワー高いやつ。
ドドなんだね、ストライクじゃなくて。この優先度むずいよな、ドドとストライク。
まあ、ドド闇をやらせたくないから、まあ、取り上げたんじゃない？
確かに、それはある。
いいえ、カビもウーラウスの横にさせたくないから取り上げた感あるな。バリアード。
カビゴンの開始で、
両方強そうだな。
バリアードと、
フランそうなやつらで固めてってる。
サナイこれ。
What the?
海外大好き。
まあ、
海外大好きの綿ね。
ハッピーいないからな。綿取っちゃえば
まあ
マジで
そうね
ヒーラーも
ヒーラーはいない
しかいないから。
まあ、ただ、フォーク構成にフォーク系のキャラを入れるかな。入れる。
取るんだ、そっちが。
盛り上げ。
強っ。あのだった
ま
ら
あ多分敵も明治系来るだろうからね。公営に入れるやつ入れて。
カミル何やんの？アブ？
いや、怪
明治系も出せんから。
あ、カミル怪力そうだ。
カミルは怪力うまいよ、マジで。
でかいな、これ怪力出たら。
めっちゃ練習してた。あ、なるほどね。
あ、いいね、いいね。明治読みでアロー置かれてるけど。
ああ、やるね。
いいリックだ
そこに
ま
やって怪力
あ、アロ
に
ー、いいですね。で、
まあ
怪力使うの最後。
オールインするしかないみたいな見た目はしてるから、右側。
やっぱ怪力、
ただまあサナ狙えたらね。
怪力な、やっぱり。
これ
俺、
これ
確かにね、闇波そんな怖くないね、こうすれば。
まあ、入られてだるいの。
序盤がだるいぐらいかな。最後は言うて。
集団戦だけは全然。
まあそうね、
そうね
2分はマジでどっちも使い方によっては勝てそう。てかまあ、RNS の方が強そうだけど。
うん、RNS な気がするね、これは。
RNS 一人しかいないやんけ。揃えろよ、せめて。
普通にハイファイブいるからな。ハイファイブもいるし、オラウータンも3人オラウータンだからな、これ。これなんでOK なんだろうな。疑問でしょうがない、これだけ。
ハルトの好きなアローやん。
闇闇の火山ってさ、みんなジャンプ台飛ぶ？
知らねえ。
歩く人の方が多いから。
みんな歩いて
ジャンプ台見ときゃわかる。
闇波はジャンプ台、闇波側がってこと？
そうそうそうそう。
使わないんじゃないジャンプ台。
俺も使わない。てか、使ったらバレるから、カミルが暴走しとる。18点持っとるぞ、こいつも。入るのか18点。
いや、入んなきゃなさそう。猫玉とかうまいこと合わせたら入りそうだけど。
入っちゃっ。
入ったた。
無理やり入れたね。
もうほぼ5。
体力ないからでも
せやな。
倒されたらまずいから。バリアも C メカどうだ？
これ、カビと、カビとワタ誰だ？あ、違うわ。敵か。
なんか回線系のトラブルか？
トラブル。
ウーラオス白髪レーンなんよな、上。すげえな。
いや、いらね
すごい。
まあ、下レーンちゃんと育てて。
よくんやな。
怪力はまあどっちでも強そうだからね。
そうだから
バリと一緒に置いちゃうんだね。
そうなんやな。
学習装置とかあるんだったら別に。まあでも下に綿投げるのが見ようか。裏押すしたか。綿怪力上の。
裏押すバリで取られた時のあれはしんどいよな。対面サーナイトだったら。
そうだね。
怪力ならほぼ角で取れるから怪力バリで。って考えたらウラオスはもう後回しでもいいから、多分レーンタイル白が置いて、ウラオスはもういつかできたらいいなぐらいのノリでいきそう。
白髪怪力じゃダメだったんかな、下。
まあだから取られた時バリウーラオスだったらだいぶとかに耐えれないとかなんじゃないかな。だからレーニングはメレーより白が1枚いるだけでだいぶ変わる気がするから、レーンから押されたくないなら白髪でもいいような気がする。むしろ白髪の方が強い気する。バリアードをレーンに置くより。学習バリだよね、多分。
多分。わからん、見てないや。
学習持ってないんだったらバリレーンでも。で、パッパって4レベル作ったら。誰ですか、この2人は。どちら様ですか？
バリはね、持ってないね。
持ってないんだ。
気合進撃オタバリ。
持ってないのにしたなんだ。
ばらけてらトロー作戦じゃない？
難しいな。
怪力とバリで。
まあそうね。
けど、
18だから。でも最初のハッピー全部怪力に譲ってたと思うよな。 8でもって、
はいはいはいはい。
自陣の上と真ん中で18になったから、そう、なんだろうね。メガ、まあ、おたばりもまで持てるようになるんか、メガネ。メガネ入れて、
そうだね。
ガッと抜いたら。横水だけで4レベルになれるんだったら、怪力いるからまあ持ってなくても良さそうな気もするな。
ウーだけじゃちゃんと取れないと厳しそう。
横がウーラオスだったら、学習持った方がしそうだけど、もう怪力が。でもカビゴンがしたとき来たら、割と運ゲーになるような気するんだけど、これ上だからあれだけど。海外の考えていくとむずいな。地対地サナやしな、これ。
If your team is able to get experience and she's able to also get experience in her own lane, if she can maintain a pretty good level advantage over the competition, she can blow Pokemon up. Yeah. She does so much damage, she can do it from so far away, and you're going to have to send Pokemon in to dive right after her. And it's so difficult because she's so far back that it gives her teammates enough time to come back and help protect her. And then you also have to worry about, when it comes to the Rayquaza fight, her Unite move. If she catches more than 2 Pokemon in that Unite move and no one on your team can stun her, she will obliterate them.
Yeah, exactly. So that mystical Mirage Unite move is so lethal in such a way where it basically disrupts this whole game plan if you are
It's a black hole, basically.
Exactly.
You get sucked in, and you're like, oh, I don't see anything anymore. All right, guys, bye.
Dunzo. Everything's Dunzo. So, yeah, there's just so many interesting ways that all these teams of Southeast Asia are playing all together. Where
地対地サナなのすごいな、マジで。
So many different
サナでカジャン
俺そんなんさせられたらもう
無理、発狂するだろ。
8練習出なくなるけど。しかもまたイメン怪力とバリアードでしょ。
そう。
地獄だろ。
サナ7点持ってんのか ?1 個取った
7点ってなんだろうね。7点ってむずくね。あ、1ザル。
2、3、4は残ってたよ。
あ、じゃあ1取って自陣の上に隠したんじゃね。怪力が上と真ん中買ってたから。
あ、多分そうだ。左上ホルビー。
僕はできてそう。
そうだね。
はい、1個取れたとてやつな気するからな。
とてだね。まあ、その分、もうサナは本当にもう最後5レベルでいいんだろうな。上側のアローとカビで、アロー側育てて動けるようにしてみたいな。
RNS が上に裏を置くこと分かってたから、上2枚にしたかもね。怪力とバリ育つより裏を育てる方が悪いから。でも裏はさできるけどな、いつか。
まあいつかはできるけど、早めになっちゃうと全部連載されちゃう。
怪力が育つ方が。いやでも怪力も裏スもやばいか。どうせさないと。
まあどうせ破壊されちゃう。
怪力ウーラースの並びやばいな。
筋肉だね。
筋肉。
パワーって感じ。
ね、強そう。
怪力はマジで強いな、本当に。
明治枠なくして、まあ、ボーリンで倒してるのもマジで。
もともとね、キャラパワー自体は絶対あるポケモンであるからな。
RNS のジャングルって、あ、どうか。あ、そうか。だからレンジないんか。白髪以外。
そう。
明治出したいけど敵がアローとかも取ってるから4番目に。
オールイン目で闇波になんかやんわり荒らされる前に
これを
もう決めきっちゃおうみたいな。
うまいな。カミルのサーナイト取り合うつもりだったんだろうけど、スケール5。そこ逆にカウンター疲れて怪力で返されてんの。なんか他のキャラ取ったらサーナイト取るんでしょカミルは。
まあ、そうね。まあ、あれはいるけど、闇波はいるけど、まあ全然神だったら、闇波1枚ぐらいじゃ
止まんなさそうよね。
やってきそう。うん。
取り上げる目的マジで弱い気するな。バンのタイミングとかもなんかずれて、微妙な。
相手のピックが残ってる事態でやったらきついね。カウンター、明確なカウンターがいるポケモンは。
サナとか明治系をね、結局取っちゃうと、むずさはありそう。
まあ、そうね。闇カビプクみたいな取り方はしたくないしな。穴取るにしても。
そうね。途中から守る用のキャラを入れるってなったら、マジでそれで火力足りないとかもあるだろうし。
You're a defender, you're a master at Blastoise, and your teammates say, oh, but we want to pick up a Greedent. But your Greedent's gameplay is equivalent to an ultra level player. I'd rather play you
ミラミ取るのが間違いってわけだったないと思うけど、ちゃんと使いこなすのもむずい気がするな。
そうなんよな。闇波ってマジで意外とドラフトにおいては一強キャラではないんだよな。
合わせるキャラが結構必要なポケモンではあるからね。一応サポート。ドドだったり、序盤からしっかり一緒に暴れ回れるポケモンがいて、やっとパワーみたいなところはあると思うから。
まあ、闇波1で敵を落としきるとかはないからな。まず一緒に突っ込めるキャラか。それこそ、ウーラオス、ドド、怪力の中に闇波いたら割と強そうに見えるけど。
うん、というともう一気に落としてる系で集めて。
難しそうよな、エスケープ5側は。うまいな、ハピバンして、結構エスケープ5かなって思ったけど。
ハピバンで闇取って。ただまあやっぱここでドドウーラを取って。闇ドドの並びやったらね、もちろん最強レベル強いと思うけど、序盤は。初めからやり直してこれ。
そう、やり直しなんだ。
あら。
じゃあ、連配置変えよう、連配置。
あれ
戦いは下さない1。
時間的にあれなんじゃないゲーム落ちてさ、ボットが動いてたとか。
あ、確かに。どっちか、
全然ありそう。
ビゴンか、勝手に上行ったとか全然あるもんな。
ああ、多分そうね。多分ゲーム落ちてこれ、ボットが動いてたパターンだ。
さすがにサナ1は、これでもう一回サナ1したら面白いな。
なんか、再試合になった瞬間になんか、既視感を感じた。あれこれ、マジ最近調子悪いからな、俺だけ。マジで落ちるんだよな、ゲーム。
Looking at the two teams, who do you like? Because I know that Escape 5, they've definitely got the quirky draft, and then Renaissance, I think theirs is more of a bread and butter. Like we see this all the time.
Yeah, I feel like for Escape 5, they definitely look to be pretty interesting, but I do see a little bit more of that.
RNS 側のレーン配置はバレちゃった。
It's all about positioning and
美味しい
not to be caught out. So
って思ってるよ、
if they could do so, I think
まあエスケープ5側としてはまあ美味しい展開ではあるけど、まあ意図したあれじゃないんで、しゃあないわな。
I believe that there is a formula that works very well and it is very well balanced.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about Renaissance.
Yeah, I mean Renaissance lineup in general, I just feel is also much more forgiving. Right? Escape 5, they haven't gone for that classic healing support Pokemon. They've gone for the Sableye. So they don't really have a way of sustaining in the fights. They have the burst. I think that's something that we do need to mention. And if they can blow Pokemon up on the side of Renaissance, this could compensate for the lack of healing and sustain on their team. But we'll have to see what happens. This is going to be the first time that we see Escape 5 on the online stage. We're not LAN, we're online. But we have seen Renaissance. A lot of these players on the side of this team, very, very familiar. We've seen a lot of them. So let's get into this game. No latency issues this time. We're going to be seeing the Dodrio going into the central area here on the side of Renaissance. And then we have
南上から行ってるんだけど、ちゃっかり。
Southeast Asia, they do love
あ、じゃあ入り方。
だったんじゃないパリアードかなんかで対応されたんじゃない？
あれでもレーン変えてる。
ワリキ上になってる。
変えてる。
読み合い始まってんね。
読み合い始まったね、これ。すごい。
そうか、ちょっとカジャン来るの分かったから白が対応するからさすがにダグマは無理だってなったんかな。おもろこれ。
バグ落ちの読み合い来たな。
でもレベルアロは5ですよ。強いぞアロ。
いや、こっからもうなんもないよ、アローってキャラ。
お
おー、変えたね。
これチュンチュンで。お
ーい。やっぱ気合の鉢巻き強え。気合の鉢巻きとかいうアイテム強すぎるわ。
いや、これ
じゃあこれ、あるよ。
お
ー。ちゃっちゃで。
ちゃっちゃ
が良かったね。
いいちゃっちゃした。
今のスタイルが生き残ったのも気合の鉢巻き。
やっぱ気合の鉢巻きなんだよな。結局のところ。
機械とか特に気合欲しいよな。
だってレーンでさ、1v1 したとしてさ、向こうに気合の鉢巻きあってこっちなかったら結構絶望するもん。アローが7になりそうだぞ。7になった。
おーやばくないこれね。
8分7はやばいよ、結構。
ヤミラミとも合わせやすいしな。
そうだね。アローヤミラミの並びも確かに結構良さそうだな、ブレバだし。
うん、いいと思うな。強そうですね。まあ、ただ、序中盤仕事できるけど、日本どうするかよな。誰狙うんだろう。
まあ、今回の相手は確かにちょっときつめではあるから。明治とかにはかなり刺さりそうだなって思った、今。
そうね。強そう、アロー。だってブレバか。そうだったもんね。
俺ブレバできないんだよな。苦手、ブレバ。
まあでもこれ明治がいたら空を飛ぶでもいいんじゃない？いないからブレバにしてるんだよ。
でも、その即時の合わせやすさはブレバじゃない？そのヤメラミに合わせるっていう目的があるならブレバだと思うけど。
まあ言うてブレバなら、ドドとかあの辺固まったとこにドーンって入れたら全然ありそう。
まあ固まる構成じゃないからな。
固まらんからな。
まあそうね。
まあせいぜい白髪を抱えさせて、そこから。
あ、最悪死んだ。ウロセウロセ最強。
クマ。
キルベッチ。あちゃちゃ。
あちゃ。
もうここですか、ウロセは。
クマ大暴れゲーミングだ、これ。
ウロセがいるだけでね、1カメは。
up that Reggie ice for themselves, and now with the shield and the bonus as well. Escape 5, are they just going to give up this goal? It looks like not, but Renaissance are also not going to apply pressure. Instead, they're just going to back up, play it safe, focus on getting experience. And this Dodrio, he's been under a lot of pressure. Having to unite him as well, poor Dev. I was going to mention earlier on as well. Wow. This has not been Dodrio's game. Normally with Dodrio, you're running around getting those really quick KOs. He actually finally got his first one, but he has not been able to really score anything this game. Oh my goodness.
バックパンでユナイト受けた。
バックパンでユナイト受けたね。受けたってか、行動妨害無効をつけて、
妨害無効で連れてかれんようにして。ダメージを抑えた。
てか、あれなんだ？空手チョップ、黒チョップだ。ヘラナ。ブレバ入ったけど全然減らんかったけど体力。
ちょうどおたばり分消えたね。ダメージ。ついたおたばりが一瞬で消えた。
いや、行動妨害、向こうのやつらが。アンストパブルボーイズで。
押し込みはないだろうから。下3人でなんか狙っとんな。
狙ってるね。
草むらで狙っとんな、あれ。でもブレバ
それはちゃんと対応している。
だけど、ダメージ足んなそう。
まあこうなっちゃったらさすがにもうウーラオス強いね。
サナがきっと息できなさそうだからな。ここが暴れられたら全然光もだけど。ストライクイン。打つよ。
ストライクというキャラがやっぱり強い。
まだそうです。
ストライクだけでダメージされるかもしれない。怪力が帰ってきて、闇ないと。ゴールになった。
怪力強制キルコール。アクションはできるな。
一緒に動く味方もいないしバリアがあった。
Diving into deep territories, still hunting out. That Sable Eye's gotta be pretty careful. Speaking of which,
怪力が辛い。
13レベルになりそうだな。
痛すぎだ。
パンチ強ダメージ。抜き合いがすごいな。抜き意識がパネ両方とも。
For now, Renaissance feeling a little bit more comfortable. This is the state of the game that they want to be in, where everyone's fully evolved and already hitting.
まあここら辺の左側だいぶもできんだろうからな。エリキワンちゃん狙う？
狙わないね。
安全にサクッとして
2分半なら勝れそうだしな。
なんだ先
いや、
に真ん中
これヒーラー以外がしんどいよ。SK5。
ストライク倒されちゃった。カビゴも倒されちゃったけど、
下に
もうどうやミラーもうさすがに怖いわ。湧いたか。
まあラッシュできはしないからな。多分削り早いやつはそんなにないから。ガンガン前張って広くしかやってなんだね。右側南で帰る場所分かった。怖い怖い。
13レベルの怪力が
殺意だ。
とりあえずその辺にスクローちょっとバックタウンするの。いや、20けどストライクいないと切った。知らんがいないと切ってる。いやーこれ無理だ。これいないから。キャナのいないとで全員巻き込んで倒す。
いやでも固まらんのよ敵が。ちょっとサナの方移して、サナの方移して。
死んでる。
怪力
ユナイト中
残ってるし。
残ってやつか。言うてラスキンな、まだクマさんいるけど、言うてブレのバードがあるから。
あ、帰った2人。
レックーザが。
おお。ワンチャンあったかもしんないのに。
これは味方してくれんかったな。帰ったらワンチャンマジあった。
マジ5人帰らしたら取ったもんな。それこそサンダーピットの中のやつ。ドンマイだ。
I felt like Escape 5 with a lot, they have too many ideas that may have actually worked out, you know, like there's a lot of damage to offer, but nobody could basically survive these battles for long enough, and
でもサナ活躍難しそうだったな。
そうね、まあさすがにちょっとむずいね。この構成でサナ頑張れば。
It's just healing for days and just hoping to survive, but 3 members a little too much
うまいね、
for
RNS の
Eldegoss to handle.
Yep, 10 seconds to go as well. There's just no way they score enough
Draft.
points. And Renaissance
Right.
able to sweep Escape 5 in the first match of this best of 3 series. I have to agree with you.
そこで怪力の選択肢あるのいいな。
ねえ、5番目怪力さ、マジでめっちゃ強いんよな。
Backline burst damage, but then you also had a Talonflame that wants to quickly go in and go out. Then you also had the Scyther, which is another Pokemon that more or less functions the same as Talonflame. So you sort of had like a clash between two Pokemon.
明示なしの構成できんのいい
But then where's
な。
the setup, right?
それこそ明示なしだったり、こう月光岩みたいなもう守らなくていいキャリーを置いたり、そういうのがちゃんとこういうアサシン系の構成に対してカウンターで取れてるの、取れるようにしてるの。
Ultimately, I think Renaissance their draft
素晴らしい。
Yeah, and I have another
素晴らしいね、
question
こ
for
れ
you
は。
where, you know, should they have actually go in for the Scissor evolution, especially when we've mentioned there's a lot of damage already being offered. They need it a little bit more sustained if that's ever the case.
Well, okay, so here's the thing with Scizor, right? Because there's Scyther and Scizor. Most teams so far are going for Scyther because they want the mobility and they want the burst. Scizor is kind of outclassed by a lot of other all-rounders that more or less do what he does.
Fair enough.
So I think they were hoping that they could just go in, burst Pokemon down, send them back to base, and then they could take objectives as Pokemon are coming back to respawn, and it just didn't work, right? They were just really going for that momentum, and it never happened.
Exactly. And in this matchup, Kamira as well as Solo has been so on point for most part, while Kamira has been dealing with Winnie for the longest time over on the top
ダメージだけで見
lane.
れ
We
ば
basically
結
saw
構出
him
てんだね。
stall on the Talonflame a couple of times already, so
確
good
か
work
に。
by man. While
何のダメージ
Odette also
6万
had
ぐらい。
scout some perfect opportunities to constantly put pressure onto Blacklight, and it may have made this game a lot more difficult for Escape V than it should. So let's take a look at some of these stats as well as the graphs where, you know, Escape, I think like at least in the early game all the way to the mid game, they have held on pretty closely. It was more
まあ
towards
2
the
試
late
合
game
目どう
where
なるか。
they were just getting singled out and then being picked off one after another, and you start to see a
言うて
little
まだ
bit
1試合目
of
か
cracks showing up.
うん。
Yeah, I think there were a lot of cracks happening,
全
really,
然
right?
まだあ
If
る
we。could describe the two teams, I think, no disrespect, I think Renaissance is the plastic container, and then you have Escape 5, who is like a glass vase, right? Just any little knocks and cracks, and you're going to start to see some damage on that vase. Whereas, like, you got Renaissance, you can throw them against the wall, you can do whatever you want, you can step on it, and plastic generally is just really resilient, very flexible. So just Renaissance, sturdy,
なんか別
solid,
の
great gameplay for their first game of the day. I
な
am
んか
keen to see how
アジア
Escape
地
5
域
are
じゃない
going
とこ
to
も
approach
こういう
this
大会やって
next
たり
game.
してんの
Are
か
they
な
going to keep going with this kind of
なん
play
か
style,
めっ
or are
ちゃ
they
リ
maybe
ーグ
going to
9
go
からあ
back
れ
to
なんじゃない
something
の
that's
WCS の予選がもう2月から始まるんで
for
ね。
Southeast Asia?
あ
Because
あ、
we
な
are
るほどね。
starting to see how these
もう
teams
他の
are
地域はもう来
playing.
月から
It seems
予
quite
選のはず。
brawl heavy, right? There's a lot of
へえ。
battling, not so much the score comp. It's
アジア
just
地域だけ
big
4月
team
みたい
fight
な。
after team fight.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess initial few levels we see some really good pickoffs coming from Escape, but Renaissance, when they lead those team fights, it looked pretty clear of who they want to execute in general. And not only that, they've been able to basically layer it. So I guess we finally get our answer, right? Like something more of a standard composition will still work wonders because it is trialed, it is tested, and Renaissance just once again relied back on their skills to make it all work.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to take a look at these quick replays here for Renaissance and Escape 5, but I think this is just like an example of the craziness that Escape 5 was trying to execute, right? They had so many ideas, but sometimes you got to take a couple of those hands out of the cookie jar, right? Like you just need 1 or 2 hands. It's just something very simple, very basic, because you want also ease of execution. I think we spoke about this yesterday for East Asia, where sometimes when you go for these crazy lineups that have so many moving pieces, and if one cog in the clock breaks, then the entire
clock
thing
doesn't
just doesn't
function.
move. Yeah, like the clock just doesn't move. It breaks. So Escape 5, I'm curious to see if they have something in their back pocket.
なん
Who
か全
knows?
然
Maybe
この
this was just sort of a
男
test
の
run for them. They
人
say like, hey, we
突然
want
日
to
本
kind
語を
of try
話し
this
始め
in
て
game
も
number
違和
one.
感ない
Let's try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll just go back to how we normally play
してる。
game 2.
Yeah, and for me, their drafting looks pretty interesting because like it started off with the ban of that Blissey, which kind of was a little bit of a that throws. It's a move that throws a lot of teams off because like they don't know what they're expecting. Okay, that's one healer that maybe not everybody prioritized, but because of this type of bans, we get to see a lot more of all these plays that were more in the recent meta that has been opened up. Like I believe like things like Mew, we might even see it in the next game as well if given the chance.
Yeah, maybe. It really depends on these bans as well, right? Because we saw, as you said, that we saw the Blissey ban from Escape 5. Mew got banned. I don't know. I feel like it was Renaissance that banned it. I think they may as well just ban it again. Like, why deal with the Mew?
Stick with the usual. If it's been working out for them, then Renaissance will probably just stick with something that's pretty much the same if they want to, because it didn't seem like they were having any form of issues, so they could just easily run it back. But because they are now starting on the purple side, so this is where they will have maybe a little bit of shift of dynamics of how things are going to go. So we do have a double ban on the Sable Eye. They don't really get to see what
闇闇同時版
Interesting that both teams.
さっきお互い闇闇バンしなかったのに突然
確かに一戦の相手だもんね。
闇闇バン
They're still pretty confident. They're going again for that Urshifu and Escape 5. They're going to be stealing away some Pokemon, right? They've got the Dodrio, they've got the Mr. Mime, and Blissey is going to be appearing here for Renaissance in this banned last game by Escape 5. So I think it's time for us to see why this Blissey was banned.
I believe that they're going to come in with some sustain comp. They're also looking
ミニシ系のキャラで
Escape 5.
一番戦いやすそうなやつって感じかな。
バンギラスきすぎだろ。
バンギラス多いね。
裏をしかもこの2枚見始めるね、バンギラス。まだ早そうじゃない？もう出るんだ、これ、バンギ。
アミル。まあ。
ニューとか取りたいけどな。
ライト、おっと、ドラパルト見たいぞ。
見たいよ。ま、ドラパも全然いけそう。魔法かドラパな気はしてるんだけど、確かに。
言うて、フォークがないから
ドラパ来た。
宿相手にダメージ足りるんかな、正面からで。まあ、ヒーラーいないか。
ドラパルトは強いよ。
ドラガパルトはさすがに強えぞ。カミルのドラパンマジうまそうだな。
Yeah, and I believe that this is also one of the perfect games to do so, especially when you're going to be dealing with a Tyranitar. You want to be kiting around and deal consistent damage per second damage overall. But
最終ピックバンギはなんかやりやすそうだけど、真ん中で取っちゃうとなんやかんや対応されそう。
まあそうね、相手のピックが見えてて、めっちゃファイター寄りとかだったら、ファイターとかベタ足系多くて刺さるぞみたいな感じだったら3、4で取ってもいいと思うけど、先に分かって見えてて。見えてないからね、今回。ウーラオスぐらいしかキャリー見えてないから。
サーナイトだったとしてもなんかきつい気するんだよな。下側の構成。まあ、ウの枠で1枚なんか裏に入れるやつとかなんかもしれんけど。ドラパ。
we're going to have to leave it to the players what you want to prioritize because we're also seeing some new things. They don't. I'm very sure
ドラパをどう序盤使うのかはすごい気になるな。どうやってドラパまで過ごすのか。
ちゃんとバフ3周食べるか。
5レベガンクも相手が攻めてたら多分蹴散らせるんよな。うちのところで戦ったら倒しきれん気するし。
相手がさ、
切れる距離長いとダメージ量出るもんね。
相手がなんか蜂をさ、めっちゃ消してくる系だと結構めんどくさいよね。
でもこういう時とかに行けたら、だってもうヨーギラスも持って行って、いい感じにダメといけるけど。えら、出ずに待ってる。やだ。一個も出ずに。あ、さよなら。
ああ、ラクマが。
どうぞ上走る。
海外のウーロンスへのカウンターはサナギラさんの共通認識なんかな。
ああ、確かに。なんか
前も、されてたよね、俺らも。
ウーランス、そうね。下ラクマに対して出したら結構育つからな、ヨーギラス。
届くか？
いや、待ってる。
まあな、そう。
行かない。逆に殺されてんじゃん。
ネットで削られた。
ネットエドラン強す。いや、ネットエドラン確かに。
ジャンコ
めん
ないんだ。
どくさそうだな。強くね？
わあ、でかい。だからここで取れるのでかいよ、マジで。惜しいけど、まあ15点。1KO15 点。
実際行くんだ
7レベル。
な。なんか、カジャン、バリスタンフカジャンしたら、ドラパのあれ止まって結構きつそうだったけど。
ドラパが譲ってるウーロンスに。
一旦まあエスケープ5としてはドラパの成長、ドラパじゃないや、バンギの成長を優先させた感じなのかな。
2まではさすがにドド立つのがしいし、下レーンでも
耐えている。
育つな、とりあえず。30入った。
まあドロがある程度育つのはもう、まあもうしょうがないと思うんだよな。中央ドラパーで、この辺の展開は。
いや、でもこのキロ美味しいよ。あるんじゃない？
持ってったらやばい。あ、やばい、これ。
バンギは9にはなるから別に取らなくてもまあ経験値は足りてる。
あれけどこれドラパ
がそう
からもうなんかちょっとやばそう。
ドラパが育っちゃったのがまずい、これ。エスケープ5側としては。
バン
ギはできてはいるけど、でもバンギ相手ってドラパ全然立ち回れると思うんだよな。
ドラパはいいだと思うな、間違いなく。
他の4キャラはしんどいんで知らんけど。
ポークがな、マジで上がりじゃないから。
うわー。ちょっと足らんかったな。もうこう1個あれば。ドラファルト評論家も来た。
This is absolutely terrifying, especially for this glass cannon. He's going to do so much damage with this level advantage.
ドラファルトがなんか2、3回クリティカル引いたら、どの瞬殺できそうやもんな。
消えそう。
言うて
それこそさ、なんか、ドードリオがさ、ドラパ攻めるときって大体ドードリオ1人じゃん。ドラゴンアロー2発刺さるんよな、ドードリオに。
3戦で結構しんどい。
3戦で結構きついよね。対象指定のあれ2発飛んでくんの結構きついと思うんだよな。
シャドウボか竜の指ってどっちかの位置付きは避けれそうだけど簡単に。竜の前も必中だしな。
めっちゃ痛いからな。お
いや強いとやるある。やっぱドラパハピエグいね。ああ、
もうやりたい放題だこれ。ドラゴンアロー届いたー。
ボタンの強さ出た。ボタン竜の前。
ボタンなんだ。
ハピ神秘？
神秘多分。
強く。
神秘やってやるのすげえな。
信じてんな、ハピのこ
ドラパ
と。
だけだったら言うて回れたら回復入るから。
なんかもうどっちかだよね多分。何でもにして卵にするのもありだし、ボタンにして。ボタン強そうに見えるもんな。あ、でもこちらのエスケープ5のエースバンギラスくん。
バンギラスくん、なんか肩って持ってけない。ここでドラパルトが回収に来る。
ああ、待ってる。
ららららららら。
あ、でも
あ、ドードリオが。 強いよ。
あるんじゃないあるんじゃない
ストライクまでは普通の。
ほんとドドも。
さす
行かないんでこれ。
おい、
おい
行かない行かない行く。
だ
ドドもちゃんとやっぱ強いな。
バカ育ったな、これで。
ドラパも殴られたら3秒で死ぬからね。3秒も
柔らかいもんね。
めっちゃ柔らかい。
まあ、立ち回りやすいだけではある。
うまいなかったらただの棒出しだもんな。
ちゃんと死ぬ。
欲しい。
ユナイト強そう。
強いよ、このユナイト。ドラパにもいいダメージ入ってるよ。ああ、ドラパのキルが。あ、ヤドランかー。ヤドランか。バンギラスだったらもう。
強14レベルですよ。3分30秒で堂々りを。
3分30で14。
これいいんじゃない？バンギとウーに全部ファンマスするから。
これだから突然エスケープ5のあれ来たな。ルネサンスの流れかと思いきや突然来た。
バンギラスって13だったら強いな。バンギラス
いやもうバンギラスっても
う
レベルが上がれば上がるほど強いから。
ステータスでゴリ押すやつだからな。敵は硬い方でいいな。
ならウの13いかずにもうバンギ14作っちゃって頑張って。
いやーまあ無理そうだけどな、全部集めても。まあ13、13、14が悪いんじゃない？
ドラパー14や。ストライク13になるんかな。メタバールからはなりそうだな。これ多分ウ1枚とかやったらウロスユナイト切ってゴールいったんやろうな。
2分半だから2分半でしょ。
いや俺打ってファームちっちゃいの食ったり時間かける気するけどな。
まあファーストタワー
ラッシュされることも空いてないし、いやオリに行きそうじゃない2分半でもなんか海外マジ1匹なら早いユナイト打ってもいいみたいな感じを持ってそう。
お強い。お強い。ウーは強いぞ。
あでもこれどっち
どっち
回ら
勝ったな。
も強いですよ。あでもドドが破壊できそう。
さすがに裏をしないとドドが耐えている。これ最後来るのはバンギラス。いやだけど無理そうじゃないか。いやドラパがナイスキャッチ。やるか。
もう2個。
あと1個。おお届いた。ビッグダメージ。わあ。
ラッ
シュでいいと思うぞ。
ラッシュだけど、
まあじゃんけんポンではあるけど、いや悪くないじゃんけんポンではある。
倒せるんだったら。あれ？
取られた。ウロスに取られた。
ウロス。
ただ170点勝ってるから。
そうね、もともと勝ってはいる。で、バンギラスだからセカンド入んないこれ。絶対入んない。絶対入んない。
で、ドドが入れてるから、また100点差ある。
100点差。片方はな、バンギおるから。
家でウップがストライク落としたんも偉いし、ちゃんとヤドンが捕まえたん偉いな、ドラパルと。
ね、届いたね、あれ。あれ届いてなかったらやばかった。
うん、バンギオンもそのまま死んじゃうあれだったし。ナイス合わせ。
ウロス間に合ってたんだな、あれ。ドドが
地獄好きとか貯めてたんかな。
いや、貯めてないと思うけど。まあでも、にしても多分ね、コミュニケーションエラーありそう。ストライクを落とすか。50抜け偉すぎ。偉すぎる。けど、バギラ死んだぞ。10秒。ただ、ストライク対ウーの1v1 また勝ってて、いや、これはエスケープ5勝ったな。
このウーが22が結構でかそう。
いや、全然勝ってる。全然勝ってる。
もう一人入ってるけど。
マジ？エスケープ522勝だと思ってるこれ。
負けてた。
うわ最後の2人入ったやつ。
あ、2人入ってた
100だけでだって150ぐらい入ってたよ。98歳。
ああ、じゃあ無理です。すいません。
わあ、惜しい。あと1秒入ったらな。
これ。
Unfortunately, this game
むず
was down to the
98
microsecond because the last I saw on the
結
screen,
果ウが抜けたんがあれだ
it
ったな
was
ウユナイト
with
残
a
ってたし
final 60-pointer. That's the make or break.
あそこウが帰れてたら
or less.
本陣は
I
守れた
couldn't
ろうね
believe this game, but congratulations to Renaissance as they've been able to
いやで
pull the
も
game back
いい試合だ
with that
でも
late closer steal, but it took them so
ああ、でもそっか、ウが抜けれてる保証もないから、セカンドギブも無理なのか。
Oh my
I
goodness.
felt like this
So-
would have, should have landed in the hands
う
of
ん
あとバンギが落ちたのが
2人
もう
入ったらそれで逆転だから
ダーゴさんだった気する
Let's say Winnie was back at base trying to defend with the team. Would Renaissance have been able to get
ああ、そうか、最後のこの
every match it's
マンモーの
it's a
60が。
balancing game of whether you should have
そう
someone
マ
trying
ン
to
モー
score
めっちゃ入れてるんだよね
faster,
最後
someone trying to
マンモーもシューラオスも最後40入ったから
most of the damage for the team actually on escape 5. So if they were able
あと
to
ちょい
break those shields on the side of Renaissance,
これは
they could have
GG。
gone for a game 3. But I mean, they did their best.
最
They
後
tried to
の
make the right plays.
いや惜
But
しいな
Renaissance just coming in clutch with those last couple points. End the series 2-0.
年引きを
I really gotta watch
いや
that
無理だ
on
な
replay again.
ウーラオスにはねウ
いや
ーラオスに年引きが当たったら
We'll have to
足
see
うま
かったんじゃ
all
ね
these small little
まあうまいはマジであるね
details
いやー、レックーザー、あれだったな。ドドがレックーザー見てたら、
literally
てかさっきの闇波のレックーズの打ち上げもそうだけど嫌われてるな今日 SK5
ちょっとレッレックーザの神様には恵まれてなかったね。
嫌われてな取ってたら 100% 勝ってたしないですけど
取ってたら勝ってたね絶対
They would have actually secured that Rayquaza and just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean,
I need that recap.
まあ、
I
ぬ
need
るりときたな、裏オスが。
He
ぬるり
tried
と
his absolute best to get those couple points
裏オス何で
in
取ってたんだ
the end game.
はい
He scored
うーん、地獄好き
122
と
by
か。
himself. He scored the 100 earlier on, and then after that he scored.
貯める時間はなさそうだけどな。貯めれてんのかな。
地獄好きとか本当にダッシュ A みたいなのあるじゃん強化 A 地獄好きの後の
うん。
バロンとかのレベルな気する
あのなんかパンチ出てそうなエフェクトは見えるな
跳ねれてんの
あ、
うん多分
強打だ
パンチ
パンチ出てるわ。
ちゃんと溜めれてるんだ
パンチや。
ちゃんとパンチ
ちゃんとパンチだわ。
でもまあ取り切りライン的には割と地獄好きでも取れそうだからコミュニケーションエラーはマジであったっぽいねストライクを倒すか
そうだね、ストライクをヤドランが手で切りしてる間に、
取り切り
取り切りと、ストライク無視して取り切ってれば勝ってたね。でもむずいよな、あの時間のコミュニケーション。マジでエラー起きる。
ここがバンギとかだし削るしかないもんな壁同士とかやるから平気ネガでもうまかった割とこれ信用できんもんな出れるかどうか当たらんのだったら全然ここ倒せば敵裏するしってのもある
それこそなんか、ストライクが何でも直し持ってたら、
何でも直しは持ってたけど早めに使ってんのかな
そう、使ってた、一応いつ使ってたかわかんないけど、まあ、管理してればいけるけど、そのなんだろう。あのテレキネやってもさ、何でも直し使われてたらさ、
そうね、でもちゃっちゃって取られてたと思うし。
Escape 5, I mean, they
むずい
did
よ
really, really well, but they still have a lot of matches up ahead coming into all these other weeks out there. So we definitely will look forward to what will they actually put into
両方
all
とも
that.
2-0
And we're going to be
いや、
having Renaissance
初
now
め
1試合目が1-2だね。
in
サー
this
1本
interview after their massive victory.
Alright, here we go. Hey Renaissance, how you guys doing?
ゲーミングハウス
いっぱい出てきた。
You gotta put your mic closer.
でけえやつがいっぱい出てきた。
We gotta hear you, boys.
一番白 T カミルじゃなかったっけ白かこの右の黒の方。あ、これあれか。
真ん中がソロだよ多分
どっちかね、でかかったイメージあるんだよな、カミル。
黒だと思う黒の端真ん中がソロだねこれ多分
Alrighty.
Alright, let's try this again.
今、デブって暴言言ったかと思ったらあれか。
そう、
レアメか。
DV。
DV ね。
そんな、アシュンさん、人が悪いですよ。
この白いやつデブだな。
1ミリも思ってないのに。
We'll give them a little time.
いや、よくないな、ジュンさん。
よくねえよ、よくねえよ。そういうとこから誤解呼んでるからな。
Oh, there we
いや
go.、
俺は名前呼んだだけだけどな。
あ、確かに。な、ノールカにいた気するわ。白の方。
It's okay, you guys are experts at Pokemon Unite. That's good enough for us.
楽しそうだ
And
な。
of course, welcome on board to this interview, you guys.
一緒の
were
とこでやれるのやったらお
phenomenal.
もろそうよな。
Let's also talk about this whole series where game 1 you guys basically cruised through it.
高
But
島
game
ハウスに
2,
集合
it
して
was
大
a
会に出る
matter
かも
of
しれん、
just
俺らは。
split second
うん
and
ブレー
with
カー
some
落ちるもんだ
clutch
って
skills involved.
確かに。
Tell us, how do you
インタビューの
feel
時ブレーカー落ちて
right after
で
that
きなくなるよ。
game ended? Were you expecting that win out of that split second move?
Honestly, the last part was pretty intense, and since our whole team was down and there was like 5 enemies up at Rayquaza Pit, it was like quite an intense flip.
犬もいるんだけ
Honestly,
ど
I。didn't expect to get it myself.
犬まで。
So
犬までいんの？
かわいい。
we actually stole it. Our whole team was like cheering, super excited.
Stop lying, we did not show. We did not show.
Cheering in the hearts, isn't it?
Eternally.
元気に暴れてる
Well,。of course, that was crazy. And well, Danley, I think we got a cute friend over there joining us. What's her
Yeah.
name?
Waffles.
Waffles.
He's
Hi,
very friendly.
Waffles. Was Waffles there when you guys were playing the match? Was Waffles there giving you luck?
He was cheering
Yes,
us on.
in spirit, he was there.
He was cheering us on.
That's so adorable. Well, congratulations, guys, on your victory. It was a fantastic 2-0. You guys left us on the edge of our seats. But the big question, are we going to be seeing more Dragapult from you guys? Because this is the first time we have seen it in competitive play.
So I'll pass it on to our in-house Dragapult expert.
Oh, I think Ice do it. Hi. As the official drafter of Renaissance as of for ACL, we will keep it Dragapult in the pocket until further notice.
Until further notice. Okay, well noted. But of course, still great clutch plays, and thank you so much for putting such a massive performance, Renaissance. And we'll definitely hope to see you guys real soon.
Thank you.
Alright, that was amazing. I love seeing Waffles having that little team mascot there. Sometimes you gotta have that little fluffy friend to give you that extra energy. But that last hit, Shifu, sometimes you just gotta have that Zapdos flip. Sorry, the Zapdos Rayquaza flip. I'm
Still
an
living in
OG.
the past.
I'm an OG Unite player, okay?
Yeah. Just flexing a little while everyone knows, like, oh, boomer. Just kidding.
Wow, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
don't mean to be that mean, but hey, like that game, we still couldn't get over it, right? Like, with all the things that have went on. Of course, we want to take a look at the bracket as we have seen Renaissance taking a massive 2-0 victory. I believe with this clean win, this should place them in a higher priority, or should I say tied with Team MYS.
Yes, so MYS and Renaissance, because they've won their games for today, they will be tying in first place with 3 points apiece. Whereas, unfortunately for Escape 5, because they weren't able to secure at least one game in that matchup, they're going to walk away with no points. But luckily for Secret Rare, because they could drag it out to all 3 games,
ライズニュー
they
ゲー
were
ム
able
は
to
あれ
pick
だ
up
よ、
that 1 point. That does put them ahead of
ウィンタートーナメン
Escape
ト
5. Now,
何回か
people
に
are
勝ってる
wondering what's
チームだったは
happening
ず。
with Rise. He's not playing today, but we should be seeing them
ライズ
next
もク
week,
ソ
I
強え。
believe. So we are going to see this
戦ったことは多分ないけど。
come up and
ライズとライズニューゲームは別。
they have, but I'm very sure that
一緒じゃないの
they
メン
tuned
バ
into
ー
the。
あれ
broadcast
ライズだったはずよ、で
to
も
see how the other
東
teams
北
are
は
playing and to see
多
what
分。
Pokemon are currently being chosen. But it's sad to hear that Dragapult might not make another appearance for
パックみたいな
Renaissance.
地
I
域
was
に
quite
レベル
happy
高え
to
な。
see it.
He said till further notice, so
Till
Nah,
further
I-
we'll
notice.
just have to wait. Gauntlet rounds, ACL finals, maybe.
Maybe.
Big maybe.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe we could be seeing a patch for Dragapult, you know, because right now the Pokemon seems a little bit wonky. There are so many other Pokemon that can do what Dragapult does better, but we'll leave that to the balancing team on the side of Teamy. But we do want to remind all of you tuning into the stream, if you are watching on Twitch, we currently have a giveaway happening right now, but you're not going to be able to claim it today. So how the giveaway works is that if you sign up to the stream elements with your Twitch account, you're going to be starting to earn some channel points. It's not just normal channel points, these are giveaway
あれ何
points.
デッキのスリーブとか
Enough
左側
points,
の。
you can redeem
あ
prizes
あ、かも
with
ね。
the points that you have
ポ
collected.
ケカっぽいよ
All
ね。
you have to do
スリ
is
ー
watch
ブめっ
the
ちゃいいやん。
And as you can see on
い
the
いな、
screen,
ホロウェア
there
ス
are
リー
several
ブ。
rewards that you can
いいじゃ
redeem.
ん。
They are unfortunately first come, first serve. So we have a limited quantity of all these
つい
things.
ウォ
So
ッチ
if you
ツイ
want
ッ
to
チ
be
キ
one
ャ
of
ン
the
ペ
first
ー
people
ン
to。claim the
ウォ
rewards,
ッ
make
チ
sure
ツ
you
イ
tune
ッチ
into
キャンペー
every
ン。
single
リ
broadcast
ディームプ
on
ライズ
Twitch.
using points
That's right.
collected
And make
via
sure
the
you
stream
leave that
elements
registration on stream
プライズ
elements
ス
too.
トア。
And you can walk
何
away
プ
with
ライズス
so
トア
many great prizes, you know. I love
どっか
Pokemon
で買いますよって
trading
ことね。
cards, and they are offering booster packs,
見てくれたら
the keychain of Pikachu's. You guys can't get enough of Pikachu's, you know, like
交換できるかもしれん。
so.
かもしれんというわけね。
というわけらしいわ。
なるほど。
Pokemon casters. He collects Pikachu. We saw the collection. There were so many of them. But aside from that, we do want to remind all of you, if you haven't already, make sure you save this website here. This is your
今日チーム連いつから
the Asia Champions
パス
League.
パ
It's
セ
got
ル
the
が
schedule,
夜
it's
遅
got
い
the
から、
teams, it's got the dates for every single competition
帰ってき
day.
てからで
So
いいん
if
じゃ
you
ね
have any questions that you need
Okay.
answering for the competition, that microsite is going to have everything that you need.
ご
So
飯
make
食べてこよ
sure you bookmark it. But firstly,
終わりますか。
to everyone that tuned into the
終わり
broadcast,
ま
we
しょ
appreciate all of
う。
you
また明日。
watching all of this
また
はい、
明
明
日。
日はアジュンのチャンネルで
before we close out
や
the
るらしい
show.
んで、
Make sure you tune in
よかっ
once
たら
again
見て
on
ね。
the weekends. We'll be here yet again.
はい。
何時だっけ明日結構遅いよね。
From
明
all
日
10
of
時かな
us
明日。
here, we have a
8
whole
時半
lot
とか
of
しなか
fun
っ
you guys
た
do
っけ
too here in the Pokemon
7
Unite
時
Asia
半。
Champions League.
あれ 8時半になったんじゃない確か。
あ、8時半からとなったわ。
だよね、
あ
8時
遅いやん
半だよね。
くそ遅いです。
めっちゃ遅い、8時半。
Yeah, so make sure you tune into the
8時半。
broadcast tomorrow because again, channel points.
まあ、やんなきゃ
明日
いけないな。
のチーム練習は
確かに
みんなで見ましょ
So make sure you tune in tomorrow. It's going to be super
自分
exciting.
はいま
That's
せん
going to be it for us. Thank you
え
so much for tuning into the show. We'll see you all either
すいません
tomorrow or next week.
う。一人で練習してきよう。
さようなら。
さよなら。
バイバーイ。
まあ、明日はね、朝起きてー。朝活やりてーな、明日。やりたい意欲だけ伝えとこう。朝活やりたい、やりたいと思ってます。
起きてたらラジオとかしよ
よーん。
う。
バイバーイ。
はい。バイ。お疲れ様でした。